$7.99 or more. Built Right saves you money. Voted best place to shop. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, closed to be with family. Make sure to tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right, just off of 894, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. At BBC, we sell all the top brands of lights and ceiling fans, such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Schoenbeck Crystal, and hundreds more. We get every brand, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. In our award-winning showroom, you'll also find factory closeouts with lights and fans priced well below their original cost. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's, near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 3:01. I'm Julia Fellow. This is Wisconsin's afternoon news for Monday, January 20th. Your top story, the 47th president sworn in.
I'm Sandy Max, in for John Mercure. Bitter cold leads to a local death.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we are looking pretty good as far as any kind of delays are concerned. We do have a report of an accident northbound on 43 on the Fond du Lac Avenue off-ramp, so just watch out for that. Otherwise, a couple of broken down vehicles here and there. I think some cars are kind of bucking at having to be outside in this. I don't blame them. We're actually looking pretty good the rest of the area. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Cold weather advisory in effect throughout southeast Wisconsin through noon tomorrow. Tonight will be very cold. The low will be 10 below zero at the lake. Actual temperature 15 degrees below zero inland. The wind chill will make it feel like it's 35 degrees below zero. Sunny tomorrow, but it won't be much help. The high will be just 3 degrees with the wind chills making it feel like it's 35 degrees below zero. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center. In his first speech after being sworn in for a second term as president, Donald Trump struck an optimistic tone while criticizing the previous administration. ABC News' Jonathan Karl.
You heard Donald Trump describe Joe Biden's time in the White House as a, quote, horrible betrayal. It was a harsh condemnation of the outgoing president and a promise of a new age, and the implicit, even the optimistic parts of this speech, the coming of a golden age that begins now, is a not so implicit condemnation of the age that has just ended.
Meanwhile, former President Biden told his staffers today to stay engaged.
Before leaving office, Biden issued preemptive pardons to Dr. Anthony Fauci, retired General Mark Milley, and members of the House committee that investigated the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Former federal prosecutor Lori Levinson tells us why.
We have a situation where, because Trump said that he would seek revenge against his opponents, you have President Biden saying, I'll take the chance. I'll issue a preemptive pardon because I think it's likely that the court will uphold it, and because I want to do everything I can to protect people like Fauci and Milley and the January 6th committee from having this type of retribution against them.
Biden's decision came after now President Donald Trump had warned of an enemies list, which included many of the names Biden pardoned.
Freedom for 3 hostages held by Hamas since the October 7th attack. ABC News foreign correspondent Ian Pinnell.
After more than a year in captivity, Emily Damari, Romy Gunen and Doron Steinbrecher handed from Hamas militants to the Red Cross. Then this, the women safely back in Israeli hands. And within a few hours, 471 days since they were kidnapped, back in the arms of their loved ones.
The release of dozens of Palestinian prisoners is part of the first phase of the ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas.
Coming up, honoring the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Outdoor Living Unlimited News Time 3:04.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
The legendary music of Pink Floyd as you've never heard before. Live in concert with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra. Featuring conductor Brent Havens and vocalist Randy Jackson. Including a full rock band. Friday, February 7th at the Riverside Theater. Tickets on sale now at BabsTheaterGroup.com.
So how do you underpromise and still get the job? We believe in our hearts we're going to do great work for you. We're just really careful about making unrealistic promises. At Semper Fi, we refuse to set the bar higher than we can jump. But be assured, that's the goal. To do all we can to jump as high as possible to try to exceed your expectations. We're looking to break records. That's how you win over customers, get really great referrals, and build a great business. When you're making a decision to hire an exterior remodeling company, character, integrity, and the feeling that the people you're about to hire are truly eager to show you how good they are should stand at the top of your list. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 3:06.
Celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday since 1985. Marcus Performing Arts Center Vice President of Marketing and Communications, Lori Bound, tells WTMJ that students are focusing their speeches based off Dr. King's messages during the Civil Rights era.
You'll hear from the winners of the speech contest. They'll be presenting their speeches. And then there's also remarks from elected officials and other artist groups.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Bucks complete a 4-0 homestand with a 123-109 win over Philadelphia. After the victory, head coach Doc Rivers acknowledged, despite the win, the overall team effort was a bit underwhelming.
You know, early in the year we may have lost that, though. Tonight we win the game, and that's what you have to do. You got to stack up wins when you can, and we're doing that.
Milwaukee Bucks are now 24-17, heading into a couple of days off before traveling to New Orleans on Wednesday. The NFL Conference Championship games are now set. In the NFC, Washington will travel to Philly Sunday after the Eagles' 28-22 win over the Rams, while in the AFC, the Chiefs will host the Bills. And tonight in Atlanta, it's college football. The College Football Playoff National Championship pitting 8-seed Ohio State against 7-seed Notre Dame.
Outdoor Living Unlimited News Time 3:07.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here, asking you to join me in October as my wife and I explore the magical kingdoms of Southeast Asia, from the villages of Vietnam and the temples of Cambodia to the friendly locals of Laos and the beachside resort in stunning, lively Thailand. I hope you'll join us for this unforgettable journey. Ancient and mysterious worlds of rural landscapes, bustling cities, and fascinating history in Vietnam. Explore the Chu Chi tunnels used by the Viet Cong. Experience a street food adventure through Hanoi and cherish the serenity of Hai Long Bay on a beautiful boat ride. Bangkok in Thailand, the beaches in Thailand, history, tradition, food. If you'd like more information on this great trip, send me an email. john.mercure@WTMJ.com. john.mercure@WTMJ.com. It's Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. I'm super jazzed about this trip. Send me an email. I send you the info. john.mercure, MERCURE, @WTMJ.com.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fellow and Sandy Max.
Welcome, everyone. Our newsroom has been following every moment of this inauguration. There's so much happening at this hour. We are staying on top of it. President Trump taking part in the inaugural military ceremony, and Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. to address supporters afterwards. People are lining up. But first,
this is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
all right, number one. So many Wisconsin ties to today's inauguration, including Cardinal Timothy Dolan, who was Milwaukee's beloved archbishop until 2009. He gave a prayer before President Trump was sworn in as the 47th president.
Give our leader wisdom, for he is your servant, aware of his own weakness and brevity of life.
Also in the crowd, Reince Priebus, who made it from Kenosha to the White House during President Trump's first term as chief of staff. So much to cover with this inauguration, Sandy. We have ABC News' Sherry Preston from the inauguration, looking at every aspect of today. That's at 3:45, even sooner this hour. What was happening behind the scenes at the White House as one president moves in and the other moves out? A lot. It's pretty interesting.
That's a lot of logistics.
We talked to the White House Historical Association coming up at 3:35. And in less than 10 minutes, Sandy and I picked out some moments from the inauguration. Number two, today is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It's important to remember the difference that he made in our city and around the world. Dr. King held demonstrations here in Milwaukee 4 times alone. His first speech in our city was at the Grand Avenue Congressional Church in 1957. That's now the Irish Cultural and Heritage Center. He spoke at the Miller High Life Theater in 1964. King spoke at UW Milwaukee's Union Ballroom about fair employment legislation. And 1967, a fair housing demonstration where Dr. Martin Luther King led the Milwaukee NAACP Youth Council to hold a nonviolent campaign for civil rights. It led to violent reactions from white counter-protesters. And in 1968, in the aftermath of King's assassination, the largest peaceful march was held to honor King's legacy, largest demonstration ever recorded in our city's history.
And we'll
All right,
hear
number
from
3.
some of the young voices inspired by Dr. King later in the
Yes,
show.
it's so
as we
great.
Celebrate and honor Dr. King's legacy. And number 3, happy National Cheese Lovers Day. I know it's Inauguration Day. I know it's Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. It's National Cheese Lovers Day. And there's a new study from Casino.ca.
Okay.
They surveyed 3,000 Americans. Can you guess what Wisconsin's number one favorite cheese is?
I would have thought it was the cheddar.
We
right?
would have gone with cheddar. Colby. Colby is Wisconsin's
Interesting.
number one. And not only that, that is the top American-made cheese, according to Wisconsinites. What is the most overrated cheese, according to us here in Wisconsin?
I hope they didn't say mozzarella.
Not mozzarella, brie, which is one of my
Oh, I
favorites.
love
I could eat an
brie.
entire wheel of brie all by myself. Stand back. I don't even need crackers or fruit. I just,
Oh, really? I
I
love
just
grapes with
scoop
it.
that. Oh, nom nom. Nationally, top cheese is cheddar, and nationally, the top American-made cheese is pepper jack. A lot of people love to slap a slice of pepper jack on a burger. Dairy devotion goes deep. Americans eat cheese an average of 4 times a week and spend $14 a week on cheese, which adds up to over $700 a year, which is
Whoa.
good for the dairy state.
It is. Do you want a bonus 3 at 3?
Sure.
Okay, I just found this out in honor of Bob Uecker. Marcus Cinemas, they're going to be playing a Major League movie
Yes.
starting from the 24th through the 30th and includes the Marcus Majestic Brookfield, Menominee Falls, North Shore, Sheboygan, South Shore. The prices are special. It's going to be $5.40 in honor of Uecker's 54 years as the voice of the Brewers.
That is great to get a chance to see it on the big screen. That's going to be fun.
One of my favorites. I love that. All right, it's 3:13 on WTMJ. Coming up next, some things you may not have noticed during the swearing in of our 47th president of the United States. Sandy and I talk about it next.
The only place to get this.
Every twist and turn you could possibly dream of is playing out tonight. Are you kidding me?
With some of this.
We are the Bucks, Justin. You're a member of the team now. Okay.
Well, I have the tattoo on my arm, so I kind of am.
Get it all on Bucks Talk, your all-encompassing Milwaukee Bucks postgame show with Justin Garcia and Brandon Snide. Only heard here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
As winter takes a deep freeze, it's not too late for you to get hot, hot, hot.
Fox World Travel has your ticket to paradise with deals you won't find anywhere else. Save on last-minute all-inclusive vacations with Apple Vacations or get up to 67% off public cruise rates with Royal Caribbean and Celebrity Cruises. Is Europe on your mind? Ask about Fox Group Vacations. Book now and save only at Fox World Travel. Book online or call 866-GO-FOX-GO and mention code RADIO.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why, through March 1st, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has provided more than 2.6 million meals to people in southeast Wisconsin. And now, the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The successful Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford is hiring positive, professional servers, bartenders, and pizza cooks. You'll make real cash. Inquire today, start next week. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
Traffic and then weather. Let's get to our Debbie Lozica. Hey, Deb, how are the roads?
Hey, Julia, we've got northbound on 43. We still have this accident reported on the off-ramp from northbound 43 to Fond du Lac Avenue. So just heads up with that if you're going to be heading through there. I'm not really seeing any kind of effects on the main line, so we're moving along fine through there. As a matter of fact, we're looking pretty good across the entire system. Just a couple of broken down vehicles here and there. We've got eastbound 94 at about 25th Street, and we've also got one on the off-ramp to 35th Street from eastbound 94. So both of these areas might be a little bit tied up, at least on the ramp there. But other than that, we're looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lozica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. A cold weather advisory in effect. Be aware throughout southeast Wisconsin until noon tomorrow. Tonight, extremely cold. The low will be 10 below zero. Actual temperatures of the lake, 15 degrees below zero inland. Wind chill will make it feel like it's down to 35 degrees below zero. Sunny tomorrow, won't be much help. The high will be just 3 degrees. Wind chills making it feel like it's again 35 degrees below zero. Scattered snow Wednesday with a high of 23. Flurries Thursday with a high of 26. And sunny Friday with a high of 28 degrees. So much pageantry right now as we take a look at the 47th president after he's been sworn in. The ceremony still going underway. President Trump is taking part in the inaugural military ceremony, and it's absolutely beautiful. Isn't it, Sandy?
All the uniforms, and I'm a big music fan, as you know, so they've really woven music into every part of the ceremony today, and it doesn't feel more patriotic and inspired with the military band.
Yes. Okay, so now, during the actual inauguration, when Donald Trump was sworn in, now that you're talking about the music, this was my favorite musical part so far. Wasn't that amazing?
It's uplifting.
I thought it was beautiful. How about the song Not Working for Carrie Underwood? Oh.
I feel like we've all been there, but
Yeah.
wow, for her recorded. But I also think for her recorded music not to play, she is one of the consummate professionals. Remember, she, competed on American Idol. That's high pressure. What do you do? So,
And she's extremely talented.
So much
and
so she's
blessed.
like, y'all can sing with me. Here we go. And she sounded lovely a cappella. And America the Beautiful is one of those songs. Whether you've sang it at the baseball game or as a kid growing up, you know the words. And this is a very communal, ceremonial moment. And she handled it with professionalism and grace and didn't do the eye roll or any of that. She just walked out. And then I was watching the coverage of the lunch afterwards, and I saw Carrie Underwood talking with Ivanka Trump, and she was like, oh, thank you. You know how you can sometimes read lips, and so they must have been talking about, oh, you did a wonderful performance. Oh, why, thank you. So
Amazing. And what else did you notice?
There were a lot of ovations and standing ovations, and it was the victory lap speech that I think a lot of people expected. taking notes on some of the political things that he said. But I will say that at the very end of the speech, he said something that I do think is very quote-worthy for our country.
I stand before you now as proof that you should never believe that something is impossible to do. In America, the impossible is what we do best.
I thought that phrase is inspirational for all of us.
In America, the impossible is what we do best. Very true.
Yeah, so I liked that moment.
Great quote. Thank you, Sandy. It's 3:19 on WTMJ. Coming up next, WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen takes us through our 5-day. When will we see relief? We're already seeing some southeast Wisconsin schools in the Madison area. They're going to be closed because of this cold weather. We talk about that next.
James Imaging Systems, local support, local accountability, local business technology representatives. Listen to Matheson Manufacturing President Al Leidinger.
She still checks in to see how things are going and if we need anything, so I really do appreciate that from a customer service standpoint.
Michael Quizan, IT Systems Administrator at Great Midwest Bank, discovered the benefits of working with the local team at James.
Our cost from supplies perspective went down. I mean, we're talking about thousands in a year. So we saved a lot of money by bringing James Imaging on.
James Imaging Systems client Luther Gray, Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra on dealing with James.
They are making sure you get the full value and life of every product that you have with them.
Local support, local accountability, local people. Get it all with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
I found a fountain of youth down there at QC Kinetics.
That's Henry Hinton, feeling like his young, active self again after treatments at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine.
I still have trouble walking down steps as I get older. I've had one treatment so far, and I can already tell a difference in my knee.
And that treatment at QC Kinetics used Henry's own natural healing properties, concentrated and placed right at the source of the pain. So Henry and patients just like him will enjoy long-term relief without surgery or downtime.
My knee is not hurting. I remember I was walking down some steps yesterday, and I thought, wow, this is not hurting when I walk down steps. I'm all in on it. I'm all in on QC Kinetics.
It's time to wind back the clock to days without constant joint pain. Start with a call to QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
I don't know about you, Sandy, but it was hard to even touch my steering wheel this morning, and I have a garage.
I have a garage. I'm grateful for it, but I have a 2014 car, so I don't have any of the modern seat heaters or wheel heaters or anything, so it's old school. It is old school for me, so I just bundle right on up. But
it's serious, though. It's dangerous cold right now. It feels like 14 below zero right now. Let's get to WTMJ's Craig Copleen, who is on the Sighting Unlimited talk and text line. Craig, can you time out today?
Yeah, absolutely. So this afternoon, we still have wind chills in the teens below zero. And as you'd expect, they're going to go down through the night. They'll be in the 20s below zero most of the night. And then by dawn tomorrow morning or shortly before, wind chills will be running 30 to 35 below. And so that'll be even a little colder than it was this morning.
And Craig, what are you most concerned about when it gets this cold?
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what it is. The wind chill, folks not being properly covered up, covering up exposed skin. And so that's folks who work outside, that's kids who are going to the bus stop. That's even folks who say, I'm tougher than this cold is. I'm going to go run. I'm going to do my daily run. It's not necessarily bad to run in cold like this, but you've got to keep the skin covered up. The exposed skin is the biggest issue.
Craig, and Sandy, I have a neighbor that runs every day, no matter what the weather, including this morning.
Isn't that something?
That's hard.
I know it's I be very careful not to dip too far into the medical end of things. I know that if folks have asthma or any other kind of breathing issues, it can be rough to run when it's extremely cold like this. But beyond that, the question of whether you can or should run is really between any individual person and their doctor, outside of the fact or above and beyond the fact that it's all about covering up exposed skin, because the colder it gets, the quicker you're going to get frostbite.
So there's going to be some snow coming up on Wednesday after this really horrible Arctic blast. How much snow do you think we're going to get? Any accumulation?
It looks to me to be minimal. Julie, it really does. Starting sometime early in the morning, maybe the 6 to 9 a.m. area or during morning drive, and maybe going into the early afternoon, but it really looks light. It may not even snow continuously during that whole stretch. It may be more of an on and off light snow with accumulation less than a half an inch. We're talking about a dusting or so.
And Craig, we talk about the serious side of this, definitely bundling up, limiting your exposure outside. Can we talk about the kind of scientific and silly side of it? Like, I haven't seen anybody on television yet throwing up the boiling water to see if it freezes in the air. Were there science experiments that you did, Craig, to kind of prove the rigidity of how cold it is and how fast the cold can affect you?
Personally, no. When I was doing morning TV, I was fortunate enough, or I worked my way around enough to try and be inside person. They'd always send one of the weather people out in the snow or the cold, and I did everything I could to remain inside guy.
That's called smarts right there, Craig.
There you go. That's
and
right.
Survival instinct. Well, I'm thinking about the Miller Lite cans underneath the Euchre statue. Have those exploded yet? Instead of a 21 gun salute, a 21 can salute.
That's a very good question. You're right about the throwing the water up in the air. I've seen the freezing of making a pair of jeans, getting a pair of jeans wet, soaking wet, and then taking them outside and freezing them, or freezing a banana and using a banana to pound a nail into a board.
Do you blame anyone if they plan on not bringing their child to school, or some schools that might close tomorrow? I see a lot of Madison area schools already preemptively canceling schools for tomorrow. Do you see more of that here?
It's really, really a tough call. Of course, it's every school district has their own predicaments to deal with. It's kids, it's the parents' availability to stay home with the kids. Of course, it's the buses and how well that they can run or get started. It can be really tough. In general, most of the school districts I've talked with over the years have set about 35 below on the wind chill as sort of the go, no go criteria for being open or not. And wouldn't you know it, tomorrow morning here in the Milwaukee area, we're going to be right in the 30 to 35 below area. So it's going to be right on that borderline of whether most schools would do a no-go or not. I would imagine, my guess would be that most will be open, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised if some shut it down, especially the ones well north of the city and west of the city.
WTMJ's Craig Copleen, meteorologist, thank you so much.
Anytime, my pleasure.
3:28 on WTMJ. Coming up next, we have your sports, traffic, and more weather next.
It was bound to happen. Over your career, investments came along for the ride. The first 401k, brokerage account, profit sharing, employee stock options, pension, another 401k, an insurance policy, an annuity, another 401k. You get the picture. Years went by, the collection grew. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe every portfolio tells a story. After all, we've seen, reviewed, dissected, discussed, and analyzed thousands of them. Some portfolios are like well-tended gardens and reflect diligence, patience, fortitude, and optimism. Others tell the story of being sold commission products that might not have been the best choice, maybe for the salesperson, but not for the investor. When the financial planning team at Annex reviews your portfolio, we spot what works and what might not, and then provide unbiased suggestions based on what's important. The retirement you desire. That's where the good stuff happens. That's our story. Every portfolio tells the story. Let's work on yours. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Head to annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button. That's annexwealth.com.
It's like being trapped in a cage. And I know that sounds dramatic, but your breathing triangle problem has got you trapped. And once you're freed, you're going to be able to live the life that you're missing out on. Now, this can simply mean experiencing the true pleasure of breathing freely. It will mean better sleep and more energy. And the worry of this problem any more affecting your life is going to be gone. Because in almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it's a one and done. Because we're not in the business of delivering Band-Aids. We want to fix your nasal breathing problem for good. We don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Isn't it time you break free from that cage? Take the next step. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Traffic is sponsored by Angela Calais and Benefit Realty.
At Benefit Realty, pay only 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission and get all the service that you should. Benefit Realty, you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:31. I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story this half hour, pausing a ban on TikTok.
I'm Sandy Max in for John Mercure. Future forecasts prompt school closures.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we are looking good out on the roads. Light volume around the area, really no delays to speak of, and no real incidents up on the board either. So far, so good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Cold weather advisory in effect tonight throughout southeast Wisconsin through noon tomorrow. It'll be very cold. The low will be 10 below zero tonight at the lake. 15 degrees below zero inland. Wind chills will make it feel like it's 35 degrees below zero. Sunny tomorrow won't be much help. The high will be just 3 degrees. Wind chills will stick at 35 degrees below zero. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, President Donald Trump just sworn in as the 47th President of the United States today. His economic plans include creating new federal departments like the Department of Government Efficiency and External Revenue Service.
I will direct all members of my cabinet to marshal the vast powers at their disposal to defeat what was record inflation and rapidly bring down costs and prices.
The president also announced the America First trade policy to add tariffs on goods imported from overseas and the removal of Biden-era environmental policies.
During President Trump's inauguration speech, he said he plans on signing a series of historic executive orders today. This includes an end to the catch-and-release process.
I will send troops to the southern border to repel the disastrous invasion of our country. Under the orders I signed today, we will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
President Trump said by invoking the Alien Act of 1978, he will direct the government to use federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of foreign gangs and criminal networks.
President Trump vowing executive action to pause a ban on the social media app TikTok. Janesville Republican Congressman Brian Stile tells WTMJ the app must separate from its Chinese-owned parent company.
And the fact that they won't divest of it, meaning sell it for billions of dollars to separate this national security concern, they would rather have your data than have the money of selling the company.
TikTok temporarily disappeared for America's 170 million users of the weekend, but it was later restored.
Here in Wisconsin, schools are starting to close across the state ahead of tomorrow's bitter cold temperatures. The Green Bay, Appleton, and Howard Swamico school districts near Green Bay, Berlin School District in Green Lake County, and the Monona Grove School District near Madison have all canceled classes for tomorrow. Schools in southeast Wisconsin have not made any announcements yet on closures. A cold weather advisory is in effect for much of our listening area until noon tomorrow, with wind chills of 20 to 30 below zero predicted.
Amid the frigid temperatures, new data shows Milwaukee's homeless population is going down.
Across the country, homeless numbers are up, hitting record levels, but Milwaukee saw a decline. A new study cited in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says the city's number dipped from last year. Meanwhile, Madison and Racine saw their numbers remain relatively stable. Now, across the country, 771,000 people experienced homelessness in 2024, an 18% increase. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk in Milwaukee.
Jackson behind the back pass to Giannis going the other way, who stuffs it down on some terrific playmaking from the second-year man out of UConn.
Dave Kane with the call here on WTMJ. Giannis would finish with 34 points, including that slam, as the Bucks easily handle the Sixers 123-109. Milwaukee has today and tomorrow off ahead of a road trip to New Orleans Wednesday. College football will crown a new national champion tonight as Ohio State faces Notre Dame and Atlanta. On the hardwood, the Wisconsin women are back in action tonight against Nebraska, looking for their first win since December 20th. The men are off tonight before visiting UCLA tomorrow. Badger Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more.
Outdoor Living Unlimited News Time, 3:35.
Our favorite reason to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler? Free service for life with no fine print. That's right. When you buy your engagement ring or any piece of jewelry at Diamonds Direct, you will never have to pay a dime in the future for sizing, cleaning, or routine maintenance. At Diamonds Direct, there's no gotcha clause, no fine print, no looking for ways to void the warranty. Diamonds Direct, the jeweler you can trust with a no questions asked 100% free lifetime warranty with no strings attached. Come see us to learn more.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Who else does this? There's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
A lot of focus on our 45th and 47th President Donald J. Trump's every single movement right now. He's at the presidential motorcade right now, headed to Capital One Arena. All of the television stations are on that, where the president will address his supporters. There's a lot going on, though, Sandy, behind the scenes at the White House. Not a lot of us are paying attention to right now. I spoke to Matthew Costello with the White House Historical Association, originally from Muskego. He says he's a proud Wisconsinite now living in D.C., teaching people who visit from around the world the historical significance of the White House. Take a listen to him describe what's going on at the People's House right now.
For that about 5.5 hour time period, we have what former White House Chief Usher Gary Walters, he called it organized chaos, is how he described it. And it was the process of really moving one first family out and a new first family in. Now, they do a lot of the planning ahead of time. For example, if there are particular pieces of artwork that the new president or first lady would really like to have in the residence, in the private quarters, or in the Oval Office, they can pre-select some of those things from the White House collection. But otherwise, the primary focus is getting all of the new first family's possessions, so things like clothing, furniture, family pictures, all the things that really make a home that they want to take with them to the White House. They have to make sure that they collect, inventory, and process the outgoing family's things to send them off, and then to process inventory and put the new things in, so that when the new president and new First Lady arrive, they'll go upstairs and they'll find their clothes in the closet. They'll find their pictures out. And so it'll be, really that the White House is ready to receive them. And it's all done in less than 6 hours.
Oh my goodness. Wow. That's really interesting that they can pre-select some items. So does it go down to the china? What type of things have other presidents like to have out?
So typically these transition materials are sent by the White House executive residence head, which is that person is known as the chief usher. The chief usher has been around historically at the White House as a senior role in terms of the household and its management, dating back to the late 19th century. And today I would describe it almost sort of like they are like a general manager of a hotel. And the president and first lady then can go through and select artwork that they really like from the White House collection, particular rugs or sofas. We generally don't see much of that because a lot of the big changes are done upstairs on the second floor, which are called the private quarters, the private residence. You're not going to see too many photographs of that space, for security reasons, but also because it is considered the private quarters. It really is sort of at the president and first lady's discretion how they want to decorate it. There won't be as many changes on, say, the state floor because that is more the public floor. Presidents and first ladies tend to not make any major changes. The only place that you'll see sort of immediate day one changes is in the Oval Office.
Right.
And that's because that becomes, there's a photo op there with, the new president coming in. And when that happens, that usually gives the world sort of a glimpse into what their presidential workspace looks like.
Yeah, they can choose different desks, right?
Yeah, they can select different desks. They can select different artwork. Many presidents using the Resolute desk, which is a very famous desk, was originally gifted to the White House to Rutherford B. Hayes back in 1880. Not all presidents have used it. There are some other presidential desks that have been used, but it's been used fairly consistently since President Jimmy Carter moved it back to the Oval Office. There was a time when H.W. Bush used it briefly, and then he decided to bring in, he really liked his vice president's desk. So it just goes to show you nothing is a constant.
Interesting. Okay. So the one that President Biden and now President Trump use is the Resolute desk?
Correct. President Biden also elected to use the same drapes as President Trump, and those are Clinton drapes, the golden drapes. So they both had selected the Clinton drapes for use in their time in the Oval Office. They did select different rugs. I think President Trump used Reagan's rug, and President Biden used Clinton's rug. And I think President Biden wanted to keep that and mirror it with the rug that goes with it. So.
And President Trump's rug is kind of like red, white, and blue, from what I remember.
So he didn't have a new rug designed. He was using the Reagan rug, the sunburst pattern. The thing about rugs, especially those really large oval-shaped rugs, is there aren't many American manufacturers who can make those rugs. You're not going to see something like that on day one because it takes, anywhere from 12 to 18 months to work through like the start of a design to actually fabricating it and then actually getting it delivered to the White House. So things like rugs, things like state services, there's a much longer lead time for those things. It's why typically we'll see new presidents just sort of select things that are already in the collection as opposed to start with new things.
Interesting. Anything else that you find super cool that no one ever really talks about?
I mean, I think there's been a lot of attention lately on the tradition of the outgoing president leaving a letter behind for the incoming president. I don't know if you've seen any of those.
Oh, yes.
But the first time that this happened was during Ronald Reagan left a note for his vice president, soon to be President George H.W. Bush. And it's a very classic Reagan, very humor-filled. It's warm, but at the same time, it doesn't. I don't think it really has sort of the same seriousness as some of the later letters. Which then you're talking about, George H.W. Bush writing a letter for Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton had defeated him in the 1992 election, when I think many people expected George H.W. Bush to win a second term, and so it was a very heated election, and but Bush decided to, which I think is a great example of his character, to do something that I think is very decent and genuine and to leave behind really a very encouraging note of support for Bill Clinton. And that tradition has now continued. It's continued through the Biden administration. And, I guess we're waiting to see if President Biden leaves a note for President Trump. But this is also sort of interesting because Trump got a note from President Obama, but then Trump left a note for Biden. So then I guess now we'll see if Biden returns the favor and leaves a note behind for Trump.
Trump did leave a note behind for Biden.
That was what was reported.
Interesting. Maybe someday we'll be able to see it Again, that was Matthew Costello with the White House Historical Association. By the way, it's located at 1700 Pennsylvania Avenue, so just north of the White House. And it's really hard to get in, so you need the help of a congressman, et cetera, to get into the actual White House. So since September, this is really cool. The Historical Association has an immersive exhibit where there's replicas of the most popular rooms like the Oval Office. Tickets are free and are open to request tickets a month ahead of time. Each month ahead.
That's a great tip.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's 3:43 on WTMJ. Coming up next, we talk to ABC's Sherry Preston live from the inauguration.
Team up with the Brewers for an epic company event this season. Gather your crew of just 15 or more for a Brewers group outing and trade weekday meetings for a fun-filled day at American Family Field. Featuring options like tailgate spaces, all-inclusive areas, seating blocks, and more. Plus, Brewers ticket representatives will make planning your event easy, as they'll be your concierge while you book your event. Start planning your company outing today at brewers.com/groups.
This message is sponsored by WisCaregiver.com. People across Wisconsin are enjoying the rewards, stability, and flexibility of a career in healthcare. Why not you? WisCaregiver.com gets you started. Choose between two great options. Become a CDCP, Certified Direct Care Professional, or a CNA, Certified Nurse Aide. Training is free, plus earn a $500 bonus. It's easy to start your new career. Learn more at WisCaregiver.com.
No one wanted to hire me. They just saw my disability, but not me. I worked hard to get the education and the skills needed to thrive. I was ready to work. Then someone believed in me and said yes.
And once you say yes, Thinkability Wisconsin will be there, providing transition and workforce support for people with disabilities and their employers to help shape a better future for all. It all starts when you say yes. Join the movement at thinkabilitywi.org.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff decorators know furniture, home decor, and a lot more. And they're not only creative, but also very willing to help you make great choices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Stop in often, because our inventory changes daily.
Design Exchange.
Previously, it has been gently loved. But here, you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural hair products from New Nordic. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or CVS.
$1 for just $1 over cost. You can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. Available at all 5 Griffin stores. Just $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
This report is sponsored by the Milwaukee Boat Show at State Fair Park.
Don't miss the Milwaukee Boat Show, January 17 through 26, State Fair Park. See over 300 boats from more than 80 manufacturers. Get that boat and get that deal.
Traffic and then weather. Let's get to our Debbie Lazica. Hey, Deb.
Hey there. Yeah, we've lucked out pretty well as far as road conditions are concerned and volume even, because we don't have any of that either. No delays, and as far as any kind of incidents are concerned, the only thing I'm seeing really are a couple of broken down vehicles here and there. They are all out of traffic. I don't blame the cars if they want to kind of act up, because I wouldn't want to be outside in that either. But overall, looking good. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Cold weather advisory in effect throughout southeast Wisconsin through noon tomorrow. Tonight, very cold, 10 below zero at the lake. Actual temperature, 15 below zero inland. Wind chill make it feel like it's down to 35 degrees below zero. Same tomorrow with those wind chills. It'll be sunny though. Won't really help. The actual high will be just 3 degrees. Scattered snow Wednesday with a high of 23. Flurries Thursday with a high of 26. Sunny Friday with a high of 20 degrees. President Donald Trump is headed to the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. right now to address his supporters. On the Citing Unlimited talk and text line, we have ABC's Sherry Preston, who joins us. Sherry, what were your big takeaways so far of the day?
I think the biggest takeaways so far of the day were just the juxtaposition of now President Donald Trump delivering that speech where he had just met so cordially with Joe Biden minutes before, and just railing on everything that the Biden administration has done. And because they were inside because of the weather, they're right next to each other, and it was just like, everything in that speech, it sounded almost like a Trump rally to me, all the things, except he said, we're going to actually do it. We're going to do something about immigration. We're going to do something about the border. We're going to do something about fentanyl deaths. All of these things that he's been talking about for a long time, saying how, the United States had been falling apart. He's saying it right there with Joe Biden. And I also think it was also, when I think of you think of the Capitol Rotunda, and where we were 4 years ago with the Capitol Rotunda on January 6th, of course, and all those people marauding through there. And now you had this peaceful transfer of power back to Donald Trump. I mean, in what is and cannot be argued, an amazing political comeback. I mean, we've never really seen anything like this, and it's been stunning to watch. And I think we're in for a really fascinating 4 years.
There's a quick look at former President Biden now former president, getting on the plane, probably headed to his home in Delaware with the former First Lady Jill Biden. Sherry, I wanted to play for you the second question reporters were able to sneak in today, where the last-minute pardons President Biden gave to some of his family members. Right. Here is President Trump saying this, Sherry.
Mr. President, do you have any reaction to the pardons President Biden did at the last minute?
Well, I'm not going to discuss it now. I think it was unfortunate that he did that. We won't discuss it now. There's plenty of time to discuss it.
So he's saying that it is unfortunate. It looks like he gave pardons to his siblings and their spouses. Do you know why?
Well, again, the other pardons that he delivered to Dr. Anthony Fauci and to General Mark Milley, who's a former Joint Chiefs of Staff chairman, who actually called Donald Trump a fascist at one point before the election, typed a big op-ed on that and had a lot of people sign off on it. As far as his family members go, and again, all these people said, I haven't committed a crime. However, I don't want to be a part of this retribution. So it's like clearly, and these conversations have been going on since the day after the election. Like if there's going to be pardons, who is going to get them? And a lot of the names that came up were those members of the January 6th committee, because they have said, we can go after them. There'll still be investigations into that. There will be. They'll be on Capitol Hill, but there won't be nothing will be able to come with them in terms of charges or anything like that. And what Dr. Fauci had said was, this takes up a significant amount of my days, my family's days, our time, our security. And I think that President Biden was trying to do that with his family members as well, kind of say, I'm going to do it just in case. And that was also really interesting to watch Joe Biden when he got on what was no longer Marine One, because he's no longer the president. But, you got to think about how long he has worked and made Washington his work home. I mean, he was in the Senate for years. He's been in Washington for more than 50 years. It was 8 years in the Obama administration, 4 years of his own. And he's always said he thought he could win the election. He thought he could. A lot of his advisors said that's not what they were seeing with the poll numbers at the time. But that's another thing that's been fascinating about this election is the quickness with which it happened, and we got a new candidate. I mean, it's been amazing, and I think we're going to see a lot of changes over the next couple of years.
We're talking with Sherry Preston of ABC News. Sherry, this is Sandy, and as to your point, Donald Trump certainly said in his inaugural address that the golden age of America begins right now. And I, too, noticed the juxtaposition of being back in the rotunda just 4 years later and the stark difference of people running through there and howling and trying to topple those statues. And now this elegant, ceremonious event today. Another surreal thing is after the RNC, where we had this influx of all these folks from the Republican Party and the cast of characters and the efforts to get a unifying message out today, who isn't there? I've seen a lot of people that I was kind of surprised that were opponents, but I haven't seen Ron DeSantis or Nikki Haley. Are they there? And I just haven't seen them. Or are there any other people who seem to be obviously missing?
That's a great point. I mean, besides for Michelle Obama, which was the elephant in the room that everybody's talked about for the past 2 weeks, that she wasn't going to be there. But as far as those who didn't, I think the Republicans want to keep that amongst themselves, because what they're seeing right now is they're saying, okay, we're actually going to be behind this person. No matter what we said about him before, no matter what Mitch McConnell said or anybody else said before, we are going to get behind this person because this is the person who has been able to unify this party, whether or not you like it or not. This is the direction and this is the Republican Party from now on. So if you're not on board, you better be hitching your wagon to something else, because this is, the person that we are behind very strongly. And a really other interesting thing in that room was what we said they were told us we were going to see, which was all those tech moguls that were front and center. Jeff Bezos and
Mark Zuckerberg,
Tim Cook, and Elon Musk, of course. Tim Cook, yes, was there from Apple. I mean, they're all there. They all know that the future for the next 4 years is a lot is riding on this, a lot of riding on this, especially in the ages of as AI is developed. I mean, their livelihoods depend on staying close with this administration. So, I think the theme that Donald Trump tried to get across was, unlike 4 years ago, and I guess 8 years ago, sorry, which was the American Carnage speech that everybody remembers, and I think we were all kind of there with our jaws open going, wow, he really thinks that this country is in bad shape. This time around was more like, okay, prosperity and strength and pride. Those were the three things that he said he's going to focus on and see what happens and what comes. But he didn't talk about, tax cuts for the wealthy. He didn't, he talked about getting rid of, when you look at the new government cabinet that's going to be run by Elon Musk, efficiency in government, that there's a lot of things in there that he can't. You can't just cross a line out and say, sorry, we're going to cut Medicare by this much or Social Security. The big ticket item things that cost a whole lot of money, that's going to be really hard to cut down, and those are what's expensive. So, I mean, every time you think, it's so funny in politics in this country, every time you think, okay, I'm going to take a breath, then somebody goes, what? Nope, not yet. Come on, time to come back. We got another party for you coming along.
ABC's Sherry Preston. Sherry, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. And hey, I want to tell you, I was listening to the weather forecast.
Oh,
what?
Yes.
I am coming to Milwaukee this week to see a bunch of family members. We're going to a Bucks game. Yeah, we're going to go to a fish fry, and I'm looking at that forecast. I'm literally packing my suitcase as we speak, and I'm like, how can I pack more big sweaters?
You got to drink a lot of Spotted Cow. It will warm you up.
But by the time you get here, we might be close to freezing, Sherry. So,
I know. I was like, okay, maybe for that Bucks game, we'll actually hit 20 degrees. But I remember being in Milwaukee one time, and it was so cold. Everybody's cars froze, and nobody could drive. It was years ago. I still remember that being walking down Oakland Avenue in Shorewood thinking, I will never be this cold again in my life.
Oh,
and
that's right by
been.
where I live. Oh, no. All right. Sandy, I might have to carpool with you into work tomorrow. Probably.
Can do.
Sherry Preston with ABC News. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Here's your business headlines.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Associated Bank remains focused on organic growth this year, but CEO Andy Harmening does not rule out acquisitions for its locations in Chicago, St. Louis, and the Twin Cities. Atos Medical ranks as the largest office lease in the Milwaukee area in the fourth quarter of 2024. The Swedish medical devices firm leases 25,000 square feet on Town Drive in New Berlin. A proposal to revive the Fox Bay Cinema would bring an entertainment venue, event space, and restaurant and bar to Whitefish Bay. The Argo plans to open in the fall with the help of a state grant. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
By now you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semper Fi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of. We don't necessarily have to look for good people. They come to us. And that's what you want when you hire an exterior remodeling company. Someone who's going to stand behind their work, and a company that is truly proud of their people. And it's because they do great work. And when you're ready, we'll do great work for you too. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Is it time to buy an engagement ring?
Or a big anniversary diamond? Kessler's has diamonds that come from diamond mines. And we also have diamonds that come from plasma chambers.
When you see the size of the diamond you can afford when you look at our high-tech newborn created diamonds,
You're going to be happy, happy, happy.
and with approved credit, our financing plans make anything possible.
Our selection of engagement rings is beyond compare. And our custom design department can modify any ring in any way you choose. Anyone who says they can give you a better ring
Or a better diamond.
or a better price has never been to Kessler's.
And our miraculous no small print warranty says,
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple. And all maintenance is free forever. No charge.
yes, it really is that miraculous.
You found a partner you want to share your life with. When you're ready to celebrate, we've got a diamond for that.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
On 894 North, just before the National Avenue exit, the right lane is closed. There's a medical emergency, it looks like.
Call me, Debbie Loziga, on the WTMJ traffic tip line, 414-238-9329.
Hello, Debbie. 41 South, just before Capitol Drive. There are 2 cars involved in an accident.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it? Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress.
The place to get caught up, to speak out, to connect and be entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 4:01. I'm Julia Fellow. This is Wisconsin's afternoon news for Monday, January 20th. Your top story, President Donald Trump back in the White House.
I'm Sandy Max in for John Mercure. The bitter cold getting even colder.
I'm Debbie Loziga. We're still looking pretty good on the roadways as far as any kind of delays are concerned. Super light volume and everybody's moving along at a good clip. Just watch for some of those broken down vehicles here and there. They are all out of traffic, so it shouldn't be causing too much of an issue. But that kind of gives you an idea what you're dealing with here. Make sure you warm up that car and you have everything available in case you do break down. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Cold weather advisory in effect throughout southeast Wisconsin through noon tomorrow. Tonight, very cold. Be weather aware. It's going to be 10 below zero at the lake, 15 degrees below zero inland. Actual temperatures. The wind chill make it feel like it's 35 degrees below zero. Sunny tomorrow, won't be much help. Same wind chill, 35 degrees below zero. The high just 3 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, schools starting to close across our state ahead of tomorrow's bitter cold temperatures. This includes Oak Creek schools that just came in, Green Bay, Appleton, Howard Swamico school districts near Green Bay, Berlin School District in Green Lake County, and Monona Grove School District near Madison have all canceled classes for tomorrow. And now we've also learned that Slinger, Stoughton schools will also be closed as well because of that cold weather advisory. Schools were closed today for the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday.
Donald Trump has been sworn in as the 47th President of the United States. Chief Justice John Roberts administered the oath of office.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
Trump said the golden age of America begins now.
Alongside President Trump, J.D. Vance has been sworn in as Vice President. Associate Justice Brett Kavanaugh administered the oath of office.
I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office.
The duties of the office.
On which I am about to enter.
On which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Vice President.
Among the reason Vance was chosen by President Trump was major issues that they agreed on, ranging from trade to the use of U.S. forces overseas.
Today is not only the inauguration of Donald Trump, but it also marks Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The federal holiday honoring the late civil rights leader has only once fallen on Inauguration Day. That happened during former President Bill Clinton's second term in 1997.
Progress has been made, but how do we increase that? How do we address the issues of economic inequality? And I must remind people, Dad wasn't killed because he was talking about sitting in a restaurant eating what we wanted to eat, or sitting in front of a bus. He was killed because he was talking about economic empowerment for more people.
CBS Morning News spoke with MLK's son, who talked about his father's dream and how the country can move forward with civility.
Coming up, there's first place writing contest winners this year for Martin Luther King Jr. Day right here at Marcus Performing Arts Center.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 4:04.
If you want to add a unique and stunning feature to your home, decorative art glass can be used in a variety of ways to really increase its wow factor. Think of adding a wonderful work of stained glass art to some of your exterior windows, foyer, or front door entry. We can make sure the measurements fit spot on, and you don't even have to replace the glass. You can just add the art glass over the top. It will add some real ambiance that changes as the sun moves throughout the day. And a paint of protection too, which never hurts. Our decorative glass artists are delightful to work with, and they just might give you some ideas that you love, but never even thought of. There's so much of the same out there. Adding a customized work of stained glass art to one or more of your home's windows can really set it apart. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, protection and income are the keys to success. Simply put, if you're nearing or in retirement, you can't afford a stock market crash. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game film was a key to success. Now I'm a best-selling author and star in a new groundbreaking documentary film called The Retirement Deception. It unveils how the Wall Street machine has been deceiving us for decades and proves you don't need to risk your nest egg in the market to have the retirement you deserve. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. I want you to watch this film for free. Call today for your free copy of The Retirement Deception. I think you would agree 30 to 40 years of saving for retirement is at least worth a phone call to watch this film and see how you can improve your retirement. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free copy of The Retirement Deception. Call 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Breaking news just into our newsroom. We have just learned that Milwaukee Public Schools is now going to be closed for tomorrow, Tuesday, January 21st, due to the cold. Tomorrow it will be sunny, but it won't be much help. The high will be just 3 degrees. And then we see that the wind chills will still make it feel like it's 35 degrees below zero. Meteorologist Craig Copleen was talking about once it reaches that wind chill, 35 degrees below zero, that is when many schools call it quits and they cancel classes for the day.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 4:07.
Our favorite reason to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler? Free service for life with no fine print. That's right. When you buy your engagement ring or any piece of jewelry at Diamonds Direct, you will never have to pay a dime in the future for sizing, cleaning, or routine maintenance. At Diamonds Direct, there's no gotcha clause, no fine print, no looking for ways to void the warranty. Diamonds Direct, the jeweler you can trust with a no questions asked 100% free lifetime warranty with no strings attached. Come see us to learn more.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Who else does this? There's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fellow and Sandy Max.
John is on vacation, hopefully somewhere warmer. I'm sure he'll be back on Monday to tell us all about it. Probably watching the inauguration video that's going on right now.
There's no way John Mercure is not watching.
Absolutely.
The inaugural ceremony. Thank you, Brandon.
Looks like the president's family, they're taking their seats.
That's
and
what I'm talking
President
about.
Trump. President Trump is giving remarks very soon at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. Parade moved indoors. Very interesting. But I wanted to bring you something really fun. I think that this is great. We love our Green Bay Packers. And right across from Lambeau is the Green Bay House. Tom Burns, who owns it with his wonderful wife, joins us on the Sighting Unlimited talk and text line. Tom, can you describe what your house is like and where the money goes to?
Yeah, so thanks for having me, first off. We bought the house 4 years ago and just kind of organically started hosting tailgates for every home game. Just really started to grow through word of mouth over time, and we started hosting friends, neighbors, family members. People online would hear about it, and they'd travel from all over the world to come see us. And it just became this really special, 3 to 4 hour events before every home game. And, 4 years ago, we decided, we've got such a great opportunity here. Let's try to use this to benefit and help others and kind of pay it forward. So for the past 4 years, we've donated all of our parking money to the Golden House in Green Bay to help support domestic abuse victims there. And we've also raised almost $47,000 to benefit veteran service members and their families, specifically Group Sierra Delta that we've partnered with for the last 3 seasons. So,
wow.
Really special. Yeah.
Tom, why did you choose veterans as your cause and Sierra Delta?
So my wife actually works at the VA hospital in radiation oncology. So the first year that we did this, she helps treat veterans every day, and we just decided it was a cause that was obviously close to her, and she was around veterans every single day. So that was the initial idea, and we hooked up with Sierra Delta 3 years ago. They're actually based in Madison, Wisconsin. And they do just great work helping support veterans, not just service dogs, but, helping empower them through getting them a dog and helping with training and just enriching their lives in a really meaningful way.
Wow, because what he could do, he could have just updated his house. You know what I mean? With all the parking and everything like that. But can you tell me what it's like when you go to your home? I saw so many crowds. It looks like a business.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, when people walk in, I think some of them know what to expect because maybe they followed us on Instagram for a few years, so they've kind of seen what it's all about. But there's a lot of people that just park at the house and they walk up to the garage and they're kind of blown away, like, I can't believe this exists here. Because, we have, again, like I said, not just family and friends, but there was a tailgate a couple months ago where we literally had somebody from Ireland, Australia, and Germany that traveled in for a game and spent their whole day with us. And, that's like, for us, that's the most humbling thing ever is, there's so many awesome spots that you can go to around Lambeau Field. And for people to travel that far and come to our house and spend 3 or 4 hours with us is pretty amazing.
What do they love about how you've tricked it out for tailgating? What are some of the special features at your Green Bay house?
There's a lot of, frills, and we got the little Jumbotron on the ceiling, and, there's a bunch of TVs. But really, I think it's the camaraderie of the people that you meet there. It's so special. When people come over, and we've gone to weddings of people that have been over to the house that we've established such good relationships with. So, when people come over and they just have an opportunity to meet people, and they may only see them one time a year for a handful of games, but to, build that relationship, spend time together, that's the most meaningful thing about it. But, it's fun. It's a great environment. There's food and music, and we got all the games on, and everybody has a great time. But at the end of the day, it's just the relationships that you form with people over time is really what's cool about it.
We know Green Bay Packers fans are so special, but Tom, you make it extra special. How do we follow you on social media?
Yeah, so we're at the Green Bay House on Instagram. That's probably the best spot. And, people will message us before every game. I've never said no. And we invite anyone to come over if they're in town. We're obviously going to be hosting a huge event for the draft every single day. So anyone out there who plans on heading up to Green Bay in April, we'll definitely be there and opening our doors and looking forward to celebrating that event in Green Bay.
So much to look forward to. Tom Burns of the Green Bay House, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. It's 4:14 on WTMJ.
Hey Bucks fans, it's Justin Garcia from the Bucks Radio Network, here to tell you about the launch of the Bucks Central podcast feed. Everything Bucks, on demand, in one spot. From sideline to sideline, hear all the ankle-breaking, rim-rattling, and twine-tingling highlights, exclusive interviews, and more. Subscribe to the Bucks Central podcast feed wherever you get your podcasts. All the Bucks content your heart desires in one spot. Check out the Bucks Central podcast feed.
Ridiculous fees, robocalls, customer service that's lacking the actual service. It sounds like you might be getting bullied by your bank. You don't have to settle. At Wintrust, we take a different approach. Whether you need banking solutions, a new home, or help planning your financial future, Wintrust has local experts ready to lend a hand. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results, and start banking where you matter at wintrust.com/no-bully. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp. Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
These are going to be the best pancakes ever.
Let's see. Griddle, mixing bowls, and birdseed.
For the world's first pancake bird feeder snowman. Ta-da!
For home-cooked breakfasts, special bird feeders, and more, we've got the value you need to do things your way. Like 50-pound bags of Blaine's Black Oil Sunflower Seed, $19.99, and KT Suet Cakes, 4 for $6. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Traffic and then weather. Let's get to our Debbie Lazaga.
All right. Well, right now we're looking at a good ride. We really don't have any delays out there. No major incidents really to report. If there's anything that's just broken down cars here and there, which is understandable with these temps. But at this point, everything is looking great. I'm not seeing any slowdowns. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. So cold. Weather advisory in effect through southeast Wisconsin until noon tomorrow. Tonight will be really cold. Low 10 below zero. Actual temperature at the lake 15 degrees below zero inland. Wind chill make it feel like it's 35 degrees below zero. Same tomorrow with the wind chill. Sunny won't help much. The high will be just 3 degrees with actual temperature. Scattered snow Wednesday with a high of 23. Flurries Thursday with a high of 26 degrees. Sunny Friday with a high of 28 degrees.
Dr. Martin Luther King said, "If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way." So let me leave you with this. You never know what someone else could be going through. So remember to do one thing for one person every day. Thank you.
That is the voice of Milwaukee student at Fernwood Montessori School. She is Titania Henry, first place winner in grades 7 through 8 in the speech contest winners for the 41st annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. contest. It's a free citywide celebration that happens every year at the Marcus Performing Arts Center and involves students to write, to art.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very inspiring to hear those young voices. And the theme this year was taken, a phrase taken from a speech from Dr. Martin Luther King of, what are you doing for others?
From the mouths of babes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So Titania, inspiring all of us.
Yes. And also on MLK Day is the inauguration of President Donald Trump. He's about to speak at his inaugural parade at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. And what we should see soon, once Trump takes the stage, is possibly him signing executive orders before the crowd of supporters. So right now, it looks like all of his family is lined up and the president should be coming out. Oh, yeah. See that table right there? That's usually where you sign the executive orders. And there's a podium about 25 feet on the other side.
It is one expansive stage. It reminds me a little bit of the Republican National Convention. Remember, they had the box for the VIPs and they had the big white chairs. It seems like they moved the white chair furniture over for this, but it's a very long rectangular stage with a bright red carpet. And then you're right, on that stage right corner, it's a little wooden desk similar to the one that we saw in the Capitol building.
Yes, it looks just like the family box, a little more spread out, and the family looks so much more relaxed than I've ever seen them. It's 4:19 on WTMJ.
Stop in and load up on great everyday essentials at Fleet Farm Stock-Up Sale, January 16th through the 29th. 40-pound bags of Morton Water Softener Salt are just $5.99. Superior hardwood fuel pellets are on sale for $5.49 a bag. And don't forget your backyard friends. 40-pound bags of black oil sunflower seed are just $14.99. Be sure to stock up on all your everyday favorites, all at the best prices, guaranteed, at Fleet Farm Stock-Up Sale.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Outdoor Living Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. At 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucs fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at Bucs.com/tickets. That's Bucs.com/tickets.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Here's to a Wisconsin winter you will always remember. To playing outdoors in a winter wonderland. Here's to cozying up around the fire and holding someone close. And to staying downtown, where the food scene makes your heart sing. And to celebrating moments frozen in time. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your winter getaway at TravelWisconsin.com. Sponsored by Travel Wisconsin.
Looking ahead to life's next adventure? Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. Whether you're buying a home or launching your dream business, we know there's a lot on your plate. But here's the thing, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1946, we've helped Wisconsinites like you secure, protect, and grow their version of the American dream. Our team is ready to tailor the perfect plan for you. Learn more at ANSI.com. That's ANSAY.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
422 on WTMJ. Hope you are having a great day. Gone are the days of your driver's manual reading like stereo instructions. Now there's a fresh new take on the material you need to know to get your driver's license. Debbie Lazaga has more in this month's Driver's Ed with Debbie.
If you'll remember, back in the midst of the COVID lockdown, the DMV changed up how people could get their driver licenses. Well, the process is back to the way it was before the pandemic. However, not everything is the same. What has changed is the reference material your testing was based on. You know, the Driver Motorist Handbook. The DOT's Director of the Bureau of Driver Services, Corey Kleist, says changes happen regularly, but this change was a bit different.
Our focus wasn't as much on changing content as it was on changing the readability.
It's about making sure that the material you're responsible to know is understandable.
We had received feedback from some of the constituents who've said, I understand the material, but it's complicated in the way that you're wording things. So we worked to change that.
The concepts are the same when it comes to safety and the rules around properly interacting with other drivers, pedestrians, and everything, but it's just worded a little bit differently.
The previous motorist handbooks had been written at a 12th grade reading level. Now our 2024 revision is written in its entirety at a 5th or 6th grade reading level. The content is the same, you still have to know the same things, but it's just written in a plain language format that's easier to understand.
We all know we have a reckless driving situation here in Milwaukee, and one of the many suggestions to help with this issue is education. Now that there is the Driver Education Grant Program, funded by the 2023 to 2025 biennial budget, more people are going to be able to get the proper training to safely drive.
We feel that drivers who have gone through driver training are safer, less likely to be reckless, and that's why we've been such strong advocates for driver training.
And now the information you need to learn will be easier to understand. By the way, WisconsinDMV.gov has the Motorist Handbook available for free as a PDF, but there's also practice tests, which you can take. Incidentally, I took it and I passed. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
All right, so Deb joins us now live, and Deb's going to give us some of the quiz. Am I going to fail this? Oh, thank you. All right, here's the game music. Go ahead, Deb.
I would just relax.
Okay.
You've got it. A lot of this is like very much, steady. You get it. You'll understand. Okay, so first question is, when you park on a hill, which direction should your wheels be pointed when your vehicle is heading downhill? So if you're parking downhill and you're facing downhill,
go ahead.
Which way do you turn your wheels?
I used to drive a Volkswagen
It's multiple choice, by the way.
Oh,
It's
okay.
multiple choice.
Oh.
Yeah. You can turn your wheels sharply toward the side of the road or curb, turn your wheels away from the side of the curb, or keep your wheels straight and apply the parking brake.
You want to angle towards the curb because if for some reason your parking brake disengages, if your car rolls, it rolls away from traffic and hopefully into a yard instead.
Yeah, or if it hits the curb, it'll just stop it. So yes, that is correct. Yay.
Sorry, I'm a show your work gal. Sorry.
Nice. Yes, no, I get it. No, that's fine. Okay, so question 2. When a vehicle is hydroplaning, it would be A, the windshield wipers cannot keep the windshield clear of rain. B, tires lose contact with the road surface.
Tires
or
lose contact.
C, there you go. That's correct. Yay. Let me see if I could do... I'm trying to find one that's
Brandon's going to do this one.
Okay, Brandon.
Producer Brandon Snide.
If you are overtaking a bicycle and an oncoming car is approaching, should you A, slow down and let the car pass, then pass the bike? B, give room to the vehicle even if it means moving closer to the bicycle? Or C, speed up to pass the bike before the car comes?
I don't know the right answer, but I'm going to say speed up, roll down the window, yell at them to get on the sidewalk, and honk my horn.
That would be incorrect.
Adam Roberts, regular bicyclist, is going to come through that
Ladies and
door.
gentlemen, stay away from Brandon on the
Thump you
road.
on the back of the head.
Yikes. You slow down and let the car pass, then pass the bike.
That's courteous and safe.
Yeah.
That was so
And
fun,
fancy
Deb.
that.
There's a sidewalk
Yeah.
for the bikes.
No, there are
They
bike lanes.
these
Don't bike on
tests
the
are-
sidewalk.
These tests are online, so if you want to have fun and test your family, you can do that too. So go for it.
Thanks, Debbie.
Debbie Lazaga, thank you so much. It's 427 on WTMJ. Donald Trump and the First Lady are in the house. They're in the Capital One Arena very soon. The president is expected to sign executive orders before his huge crowd of supporters. We see the podium. He's about to speak. And then there's another smaller table where usually he signs those executive orders. And it looks like he is dancing to YMCA right now. It's 4:27. We'll be right back.
So how do you underpromise and still get the job? We believe in our hearts we're going to do great work for you. We're just really careful about making unrealistic promises. At Semper Fi, we refuse to set the bar higher than we can jump. But be assured, that's the goal. To do all we can to jump as high as possible to try to exceed your expectations. We're looking to break records. That's how you win over customers, get really great referrals, and build a great business. When you're making a decision to hire an exterior remodeling company, character, integrity, and the feeling that the people you're about to hire are truly eager to show you how good they are should stand at the top of your list. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story, no school tomorrow for Milwaukee Public School students.
I'm Sandy Max. In for John Mercure, changes to the Government Efficiency Commission.
I'm Debbie Laziga. We are looking good across the entire system. No major delays right now. Just a few broken down vehicles here and there. Nothing in traffic right now. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Cold weather advisory is in effect throughout southeast Wisconsin until noon tomorrow tonight. Very cold. The low will be 10 below zero. Actual temperature at the lake, 15 degrees below zero inland. Wind chill make it feel like it's 35 degrees below zero. Sunny tomorrow, won't be much help. The high will be just 3 degrees. And again, those wind chills will stick at 35 degrees below zero. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a lot of schools starting to close across our state and are calling our newsroom ahead of tomorrow's bitter cold temperatures. Milwaukee Public Schools canceled all classes, central services, and after-school activities because of all of this for tomorrow. Oak Creek Franklin, New Berlin, Delavan Darien, Racine, Slinger, Kenosha, McWanago, and Stoughton schools have also canceled. We have all the cancellations at WTMJ.com. You can refresh throughout tonight to get an update, and tomorrow morning, a cold weather advisory in effect for much of our listening area until tomorrow. Schools were closed today for the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday.
If you're looking to get out of the bitter temperatures tomorrow, there will be some warming centers open locally. The Marcia P. Coggs building is open as an emergency warming center from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Other warming centers include Repairers of the Breach, Guest House, Capuchin Community Services at St. Ben's, Joy House, and Safe Harbor.
President Donald Trump took the oath of office earlier this afternoon, wasted little time in getting work with executive actions. He also took time to celebrate inauguration with supporters. CBS Natalie Brand in Washington, D.C.
Because of the extreme cold brought changes to the day, a raucous campaign atmosphere filled the arena celebrating President Trump's return.
And right now, President Trump is in the Capital One Arena with the inaugural parade underway. He is expected to sign executive orders before the crowd of supporters.
Vivek Ramaswamy is no longer part of the Government Efficiency Commission that President Donald Trump selected him to lead alongside billionaire Elon Musk. Ramaswamy's departure from the Department of Government Efficiency was confirmed hours after Trump took office today. Ramaswamy, who sought the 2024 Republican nomination for president, has signaled plans to run for governor of Ohio.
A reprieve for TikTok and its 170 million U.S. users as President Donald Trump takes office. He is promising not to enforce a ban on the app that caused it to temporarily disappear on Sunday. Congressman Brian Stile, Republican from Janesville, tells WTMJ there still needs to be changes.
TikTok itself, the app, is not the concern. The concern is the ownership structure, and what we need to do is force the sale of that to separate TikTok, the app, from the parent company and the data collection that's occurring by the Communist Party of China.
Congressman Stile says he believes Trump can help broker a deal to satisfy national security concerns and keep the app available in the U.S.
Before leaving office, former President Biden issued preemptive pardons to Dr. Anthony Fauci, retired General Mark Milley, and members of the House committee that investigated the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Former federal prosecutor Lori Levinson tells us why.
We have a situation where, because Trump said that he would seek revenge against his opponents, you have President Biden saying, I'll take the chance. I'll issue a preemptive pardon because I think it's likely that the court will uphold it, and because I want to do everything I can to protect people like Fauci and Milley and the January 6th committee from having this type of retribution against them.
Biden's decision came after now President Donald Trump had warned of an enemies list, which included many of the names Biden pardoned.
Among President Biden's string of the 11th hour pardons includes Dr. Anthony Fauci, as Sandy just mentioned, who says he's, quote, grateful.
Dr. Anthony Fauci tells ABC he accepts the pardon from President Biden and is grateful for it, but he emphasized that he committed no crimes. Fauci did say to ABC the threats and possibility of prosecution, quote, creates immeasurable and intolerable distress on me and my family. Throughout his campaign, President-elect Donald Trump vowed to exact retribution on his political enemies. Fauci faced intense scrutiny and vitriol for the government's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Today is not only the inauguration of Donald Trump, it also marks Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The federal holiday honoring the late civil rights leader has only once fallen on Inauguration Day. That happened during former President Bill Clinton's second term in 1997.
Progress has been made, but how do we increase that? How do we address the issues of economic inequality? And I must remind people, Dad wasn't killed because he was talking about sitting in a restaurant eating what we wanted to eat, or sitting in the front of a bus. He was killed because he was talking about economic empowerment for more people.
CBS Morning News spoke with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s son, who talked about his father's dream and how the country can move forward with civility.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. In Milwaukee,
Jackson behind the back pass to Giannis going the other way, who stuffs it down on some terrific playmaking from the second-year man out of UConn.
Dave Kane with a call here on WTMJ. Giannis would finish with 34 points, including that slam, as the Bucks easily handled the Sixers, 123-109. Milwaukee has today and tomorrow off ahead of a road trip to New Orleans Wednesday. College football will crown a new national champion tonight as Ohio State faces Notre Dame in Atlanta. On the hardwood, Wisconsin women back in action tonight against Nebraska, looking for their first win since December 20th. The men are off tonight before visiting UCLA tomorrow. Badger Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding, and a whole lot more.
Outdoor Living
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here, asking you to join me in October as my wife and I explore the magical kingdoms of Southeast Asia, from the villages of Vietnam and the temples of Cambodia to the friendly locals of Laos and the beachside resort in stunning, lively Thailand. I hope you'll join us for this unforgettable journey. Ancient and mysterious worlds of rural landscapes, bustling cities, and fascinating history in Vietnam. Explore the Chu Chi tunnels used by the Viet Cong. Experience a street food adventure through Hanoi Hanoi and cherish the serenity of Hai Long Bay on a beautiful boat ride. Bangkok in Thailand, the beaches in Thailand, history, tradition, food. If you'd like more information on this great trip, send me an email. john.mercure@wtmj.com. john.mercure@wtmj.com. It's Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. I'm super jazzed about this trip. Send me an email. I send you the info. john.mercure, MERCURE, @wtmj.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
0-1 pitch. Swings, and there it is! A base hit in the right center. He's done it. 3,000 for Robin.
That was the 3,000 hit with Robin Yount. Wow. What year was that, Brandon? Was that 1992? It was probably in the 1990s. I can't believe it's been 4 days already since Bob Uecker has passed away. It's gone by so fast. He's credited with helping many of his partners become the broadcast professionals they are today, but don't take our word for it.
Hello again, everyone. Bob Uecker along with Jeff Levering and Ken Sommerfeld, set to bring you Game 1 action.
There's something about listening to Bob that just makes you feel good. He bleeds Brewers baseball.
Once again, here's Joe Block.
Well, thanks, you, Ken. I had the unique experience of being able to learn under both an established Major League player and a Hall of Fame broadcaster.
This is Bob Uecker along with Corey Provis.
Sharing a booth with him is truly one of the better jobs, not just in sports, but I think that one could possibly have.
Once again, here's Jim Powell.
Undoubtedly, the greatest honor of my career is that I can say I was Bob Uecker's longest tenured partner. 13 years in the Brewers radio booth alongside the great Bob Uecker.
This is Len Casper. The brilliance of Bob Uecker can never really be overstated.
This is Pat Hughes.
A great man is someone who never reminds you of anyone else, and that certainly applies to Uecker.
Long run! He's got it with a diving catch, and Nieves has made history.
He's a great baseball broadcaster mechanically. He's got the great home run call, the best of any of the signature home run calls.
Get up, get out of here, gone. I mean, just perfect, and it came from such an organic place. It's a great home run call.
I love hearing his story when he took over full-time, calling the games in '78, and how that season began with an opening day grand slam from Sixto Lascano. I think Bob's got a great call of that.
Drive to deep right center, way back goes Evans. It's got a chance to go. Slam home run for us.
Robin Yount's 3,000th hit. That's a great call.
3,000 for Robin.
I was there for Trevor Hoffman's 600th save.
Swing a bouncer.
Ground ball to short. Council throws, and there it is, 600 saves. Big moments. I wouldn't just look at the field. I would just kind of move my chair back and turn to my right and just watch Bob call a brilliant baseball moment.
And then to be able to blend in the stories and the humor in between pitches.
You don't mess around with Tony Danza either. I've known Tony a long time. Former boxer, not much of a puncher, pretty good dancer. Here's a ball down low, and it's 2-1.
Who else can weave in a story about Andre the Giant choking him, or how Johnny Carson didn't believe he was a baseball player, or how his TV son burned a steak in the oven, and then somehow relate it to Domingo Santana?
Gone for Santana!
Talking about how his old catcher's equipment was so bad and how he used to get beat up all the time.
When another catcher comes up to you and takes a full swing at you, then you know he's not your pal.
Being at the park and broadcasting Brewers games is simply one of the most enjoyable aspects of his life.
It's being retrieved by Prince Fielder. It's something from the upper reaches of Miller Park. Nothing really major. It's maybe a 400 or 500 pound piece.
His favorite hobby, unfortunately, was trying to find a way to make me laugh uncontrollably, preferably when I'm drinking a soda.
These are the kinds of days I used to lay out and cover my body with honey and let the ants run all over me. Outside a ball, it was stimulating.
This is Vin Scully. Probably the most difficult time I have ever spent on television was one day we were in Milwaukee. I was asking Bob if he would come on our show, and I'm interviewing him, and he is becoming Bob Uecker, the entertainer, with the straight-faced, for that 10-minute period, I agonized trying not to let the show fall apart with me hysterical. It was really a test.
Kent, are you there? Joe, go up and check. He could have passed out.
He's extemporaneously funnier than anyone at the ballpark and one of the most pronounced comedic wits of our time.
As you can't keep asking guys to go out there and throw shutouts and, 1 or 2 run games all the time. Hello? Yes, you're on. Swing and a miss.
You want to make the game fun, and nobody makes a baseball game more fun than Bob Uecker. He broadcasts with a smile on his face.
Spins, throws, and they got him! What a play by Orlando Arcia!
He's so good, he's so funny, and he's such a genuine person, and I would not be here without him. There's no doubt about that.
Holy cow! Do you believe it?
Every time I broadcast a baseball game, Bob Uecker is a part of it. He did a lot for me. I can't tell you how much respect I have for Bob Uecker.
Bob Uecker is so special to Brewers baseball because he really is Brewers baseball. There's only been one season in the entire history of the Brewers that he hasn't been calling games for them.
God bless him.
Oh, baby.
Wow, that was so nice. You know, something else that was really fun that was announced, I know that you'll really appreciate this. In honor of Bob Uecker, Marcus Cinemas, they're going to be playing on the big screen Major League, the movie, starting from the 24th through the 30th. It includes the Marcus Majestic Brookfield, Menominee Falls, North Shore, Sheboygan, South Shore. And the tickets are a special price, $5.40, and that's in honor of Uecker's 54 years as the voice of the Brewers.
That's... And if you just can't wait, the Avalon is also doing a one-night-only screening on Thursday. Before the Friday. And if you really want to have some fun, go back and listen to the What's on Tap podcast. I talked to the guy who plays Monty the Color Man in Major League, Skip Graperis, and asked him his memories and what it was like. It was really like 6 days filming with Bob Uecker. But for as much as you see all of Major League, Skip Graperis is the guy who got to hang out with Bob Uecker. Because it's Harry Doyle in the broadcast booth. So What's on Tap, the podcast? Go to WTMJ.com or, text TAP to the...
TAP?
Yeah, to the Sighting Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. Text TAP, and we'll get you the link so you can catch up on all the Uecker tributes that I've done on What's on Tap since last Thursday.
And we're also keeping an eye on the Trump inaugural parade that's indoors at the Capital One Arena. Looks like Middletown, Ohio, the high school band, the cheerleaders are marching.
Yeah, it's a march. It truly is a parade indoors.
And that's where J.D. Vance was born and raised. And I thought it was so cute what just happened. President Trump is sitting right in front of a huge presidential seal, and J.D. Vance has one of his sons in his lap. And did you see the son was slumped over the seal, the presidential seal a little bit, tired?
Oh, it's a long day for little ones.
He's up again. Oh, that's so funny. I love seeing the little kids at these events.
Trump is living his best life today, that's for sure.
Yes, it's 4:44 on WTMJ. Coming up next, we take a look at some local connections to Martin Luther King Jr.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our Retirement Ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
If you're living with joint pain in your shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, and you have Medicare or Medicaid insurance, coming to Rejuvenex to solve your pain problems is something you should strongly consider. First off, because our FDA-approved pain treatments have been shown in many cases to be highly effective at reducing inflammation and substantially alleviating pain. Secondly, Medicare and Medicaid cover Rejuvenex treatments, so your cost could be nothing, or next to nothing at all. Chronic pain will only worsen with age. This leads to a far more compromised lifestyle, depression, and soon they start talking surgery. And then what? You have to get in front of arthritis and chronic pain, because the sooner you do, by letting us begin to calm those pain points, the better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and we can alleviate your pain so you can rejuvenate your life. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Time's ticking on Heiser's Drive Into 2025 sales event. The clock is literally running out on remaining 2024 models. We're making room for new rides, which means huge savings just for you. Shop online or race in today and get a new vehicle for way less than expected. With low payments, special financing, and immediate delivery, you'll start 2025 in style without breaking the bank. But hurry, because once they're gone, they're gone. Visit Heiser.com now for all of the details and get ready to roll into the new year with a celebratory deal.
See dealer for complete details.
What are 3 things you can do during a frozen Wisconsin winter? Well, you can go skiing, or do some ice fishing, or you can take a tropical vacation with Mr. Holland's Home Services. No, despite the rumors, we're not adding a travel agency to our robust roster of services. But with Mr. Holland's help, you can enjoy a tropical getaway this winter without ever leaving your home. Bring the heat of the beach into your abode with our top-notch heating repair, replacement, and maintenance. Relax to the soothing sounds of gently cascading water provided by our prestigious plumbers. Bask in the warm glow of revitalizing light, courtesy of Mr. Holland's expert electricians. Heating, plumbing, and electric, or as we like to call it, the trifecta of tranquility. Escape to the tropics and rejuvenate your January with Mr. Holland's Home Services. 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. Want to say aloha to Total Home Comfort? We can help.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Traffic and then weather. Let's get to our Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb, how are the roads?
Hey, yeah, we're looking pretty good. No major delays anywhere. We do have westbound 94 just west of Highway 100. Off on the left shoulder, we've got what they're calling an incident. So a couple of squads have a car pulled over. I don't know if it is a medical situation or what, but just keep your eyes open for that. It's not slowing anything down because it's not in the main line, so we should be good. And everything else is looking great. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Cold weather advisory in effect throughout southeast Wisconsin until noon tomorrow. Tonight, very bitter cold. The low will be 10 below zero. Actual temperatures at the lake, 15 degrees below zero inland. Wind chill will make it feel like it's 35 degrees below zero. Sunny tomorrow, but it won't be much help. The high will be just 3 degrees, with the wind chills making it feel like it's 35 degrees below zero. Scattered snow Wednesday with a high of 23. Flurries Thursday with a high of 26. Sunny Friday with a high of 28 degrees.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
This Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we pay our respects to one of the greatest men to ever live, breaking generations of barriers, segregation put on the shoulders of countless Americans. What are you holding up? You can text WATCH always to 855-616-1620.
Brought in my Free at Last album of speeches from 1968, put out on Motown Records, part of my vinyl collection. I was just holding it up as a visual aid as you were doing your presentation. But yeah, this is a
that's wonderful.
Treasured part of my album collection, thanks to my parents.
And we heard about Martin Luther King Jr. from the mouths of babes thanks to the 41st annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. speech contest. Here is Eddie Smith III, a fourth grader at Craig Montessori School. We wanted to share this with you because it's really special.
Martin Luther King believed that life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are we doing for others? This should begin with your family. I love my family and help them whenever I can. When my mom needs help with the trash, I take the cans to the front. I make sure I'm a good big brother and a role model. I am always available to help my family. What are you doing to help your family? Can they count on you to lend a hand? At school, I also try to help others. I help the teachers by running errands or tell the other teachers something. I even help with the school laundry by putting stuff in the washer and then getting it the next day. I volunteer to take people to the nurse when they are hurt. I go places with kindergartners and first graders when they need an older helper. I try to be a good role model by following the rules, and so they will grow up and have good behavior like me. I always try to help at school. What are you doing to help your school? Can I count on you to lend a hand? It is also important to support your community. Every little thing can make a difference and can make someone's life easier. When shoveling snow at my house, I do a little bit more, so my neighbors don't need to do as much. When I went trick-or-treating in my community, one house gave my mom a bunch of stuff. She gave us candy, but also socks and other useful things. She followed Dr. Martin Luther King's belief that we should do for others. By helping us, she helped members of the community. Her little bit of generosity helped us and encouraged us to help others. My neighborhood also has a community garden. People plant stuff and connect with each other. They help each other. I plan to help with the garden too. What are you doing to help your community? Can I count on you to lend a hand? I once planted a flower to make the world better and more beautiful. I believe that one simple seed can triumph over the whole world. You should do as much as you can to make the world a better place. You need to respect other people and yourself. You need to reach out to someone who needs something. You need to be open-minded. Each of us can fulfill Dr. Martin Luther King's dream by every day doing for others and making the world a better place. What are you going to do to help the world? Can the world count on you to lend a hand? My name is Eddie Smith III, and I pledge that I will help others. I will make the world a better place. I will plant the first seed. Can I count on you to be by my side?
Eddie Smith III, the first place winner in grades 3 through 4. He goes to Craig Montessori School, and he is a prize winner in today's 41st annual celebration for Dr. Martin Luther King. Milwaukee and Atlanta are the only cities in the country to host an annual celebration in honor of Dr. King. So it is a proud history, and it involves students from Milwaukee Public Schools and schools all around our area to compete in speeches, in art. And today is the celebration that's happening right now at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. And the theme this year is, what are you doing for others? Inspired by Dr. King's words from a speech he gave in 1957. And he challenged his audience by saying, quote, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Every person must decide at some point whether they will walk in the light of creative altruism or in the darkness of destructive selfishness," end quote. And so to know that Dr. King's words are inspiring another generation, and I'm just so charmed by Eddie Smith III and his public speaking, just great. And this event, it's absolutely free. And another meaningful moment that's going to happen today is there is going to be a special presentation of an award called the Reverend Joseph Ellwanger Social Justice Award, which will be awarded to Eddie and Mary Sue Short. They've been together 60 years, and they risked their lives in Mississippi for voting rights, challenging segregation, and improving conditions there in Mississippi. They've been together 58 years of marriage.
Whoa.
Unwavering commitment to justice, equality, and to each other. So really a special afternoon, including our partners at 101.7 The Truth. They will be there helping the celebration go on. Excellent. Yeah. So bringing you some words of inspiration if you were looking for some hope today and hearing Dr. King's meaning and legacy living on.
To the next generation. I love it. Do you want to hear about some of the times he visited Milwaukee, Dr. King?
Absolutely.
Okay, so his first speech in our city was at the Grand Avenue Congressional Church in 1957. That's now the Irish Cultural and Heritage Center.
Right there on Wisconsin Avenue.
Yeah, I know. And then he spoke at the Miller High Life Theater in 1964. And this one was in 1965. He spoke at UW Milwaukee's Union Ballroom about fair employment legislation. 67 was Fair Housing Demonstration. That was huge, historic, where he led the Milwaukee NAACP Youth Council to hold a nonviolent campaign for civil rights, which led to violent reactions from white counter-protesters. Then in 1968, in the aftermath of King's assassination, is the largest peaceful march held to honor King's legacy, the largest demonstration ever recorded in our city's history. So Martin Luther King Jr. Day, there's a lot of meaning behind it.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4:56 on WTMJ. We are keeping an eye. Very soon, President Trump is going to be speaking at his inaugural parade, which is indoors at the Capital One Arena.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Associated Bank remains focused on organic growth this year, but CEO Andy Harmening does not rule out acquisitions for its locations in Chicago, St. Louis, and the Twin Cities. Atos Medical ranks as the largest office lease in the Milwaukee area in the fourth quarter of 2024. The Swedish medical devices firm leases 25,000 square feet on Town Drive in New Berlin. A proposal to revive the Fox Bay Cinema would bring an entertainment venue, event space, and restaurant and bar to Whitefish Bay. The Argo plans to open in the fall with the help of a state grant. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Leading a nonprofit takes just the right mix of skills, experience, and passion. It is not easy to find those people. But Spano Pratt can help. They specialize in executive recruiting within the nonprofit world. From candidate discovery to assessment and selection, all the way to onboarding and executive coaching. The team at Spano Pratt is full of experts who identify talent that align with your purpose and mission. Go to SpanoPratt.com to start your search.
Save big money at Menards and stock up on your favorite Procter & Gamble products. We carry quality products from brands you can trust, like Dawn, Tide, Bounty, and more. Keep your home clean and stocked with essentials like paper towels, toilet paper, dish soap, and more. Now through January 26th, head to Menards to get a great deal on qualifying Procter & Gamble products. Plus, view the weekly flyer for other great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Our favorite reason to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler? Free service for life with no fine print. That's right. When you buy your engagement ring or any piece of jewelry at Diamonds Direct, you will never have to pay a dime in the future for sizing, cleaning, or routine maintenance. At Diamonds Direct, there's no gotcha clause, no fine print, no looking for ways to void the warranty. Diamonds Direct, the jeweler you can trust with a no questions asked 100% free lifetime warranty with no strings attached. Come see us to learn more.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Who else does this? There's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
During your career, investments piled up. From 401ks to brokerage accounts, it turned into quite a collection. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe every portfolio tells a story. We've analyzed thousands. Some reflect diligence and fortitude. Others, a mishmash of overlapping investments. When Annex reviews a portfolio, we spot what works, what might not, and then provide unbiased suggestions. Every portfolio tells a story. Let's work on yours. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary. That's our story. Head to AnnexWealth.com.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands.
If better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today. You can find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
This report is sponsored by the Milwaukee Boat Show at State Fair Park.
Don't miss the Milwaukee Boat Show, January 17 through 26, State Fair Park. See over 300 boats from more than 80 manufacturers. Get that boat and get that deal.
Your locally owned hometown station gives you the news and what it means to you. Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5:01. I'm Julia Fellow. This is Wisconsin's afternoon news for Monday, January 20th. Your top story: no school during frigid weather.
I'm Sandy Max in for John Mercure. A homicide in Geneva.
I'm Debbie Loziga. We're actually looking pretty good. Super quiet around the area, light volume, and full freeway speeds across the entire system. That's your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Cold weather advisory in effect throughout southeast Wisconsin until noon tomorrow. Tonight, very cold. The actual temperature low will be 10 below zero at the lake, 15 degrees below zero inland. The wind chill will make it feel like it's 35 degrees below zero. Very dangerous. Sunny tomorrow won't be much help. The high will be just 3 degrees with the wind chills again at 35 degrees below zero. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, schools are starting to close across our state ahead of Tuesday's bitter cold temperatures. Milwaukee Public Schools canceled classes, central services, and all of their after-school activities. Oak Creek, Franklin, New Berlin, Waukesha, Elmbrook just added, Shorewood, Delavan Darien, Racine, Kenosha, McWanago, Menominee Falls just added, Slinger, and Stoughton schools have also canceled. The cold weather advisory is in effect for much of our listening area. School will be closed today for Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, and you can always check the updates throughout the day and tomorrow morning at WTMJ.com for more cancellations.
One man is dead after an early morning shooting in the town of Geneva. Police found the man shot near Lincoln Avenue and Lakeshore Drive just before 2:30 a.m. today. He was taken to the hospital where he died from his injuries. 52-year-old Stephen Merkel Jr. of Lake Geneva was arrested in connection to this shooting. He's being charged with first-degree reckless homicide.
Former President Biden is coming under harsh criticism from law enforcement community for his last-minute move to free an 80-year-old who was convicted of killing 2 FBI agents 5 decades ago. ABC News correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
Native American activist Leonard Peltier was convicted in 1977 of killing 2 FBI agents. He's always denied it, and over the decades, Peltier's defenders have argued the case against him was flawed. In 2000, his then attorney told ABC News,
Mr. Peltier was convicted only after the FBI terrorized a number of witnesses.
In recent weeks, former President Biden was strongly urged by then FBI Director Christopher Wray not to grant the 80-year-old clemency. And the FBI Agents Association now says it is outraged by the move. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
President Donald Trump took the oath of office earlier this afternoon and wasted little time in getting to work with executive actions. He also took time to celebrate the inauguration with supporters. CBS's Natalie Brand is in Washington, D.C.
While the move indoors because of the extreme cold brought changes to the day, a raucous campaign atmosphere filled the arena celebrating President Trump's return.
The president is expected to sign more executive actions at the White House before attending several balls this evening.
With a new lease for the Brewers comes approval of renovations to American Family Field that keeps the ballpark open all year round. Vice President of Governmental Affairs for Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce, Andrew Davis, tells WTMJ that he sees multiple events that could take place in the ballpark during winter months.
Yeah, I'm a big golfer. I'd like to see something golf-related. They've already tried to dabble into that a little bit at the ballpark, and I've not gone to that experience. Other shows, I know they book a lot of country acts there. I know you've got some local officials really lobbying for a wrestling event. That could be a really cool, different change of pace there.
Davis says by keeping the ballpark open all year round, it brings more dollars and investment to our city and state.
Coming up, Milwaukee students honor Dr. King.
Outdoor Living Unlimited News Time, 5:05.
Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at PellaWI.com.
And now it's time for everyone's favorite game, Response in Wisconsin. Guess the most popular responses from Wisconsinites. Okay, here we go. What's your least favorite thing about winter in Wisconsin? Gina Della from Pella.
Let me guess. Frozen toes? Oh, I know. Driving alongside bumper cars every time it snows. And then scrambling to find someone to watch your kids because they're school clothes. Let's face it, this is just the time of the year when we just want to all be warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Pella Windows and Doors is the best choice to make your home just right. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years.
Thanks for playing Response in Wisconsin.
Hurry! You only have until January 31st to get 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
Hey, John Mercure here for Griffin Ford in Waukesha. I love the Griffin Ford dealership. The favorite car I've ever had, and I've had a lot of vehicles, is the white Ford Explorer I'm driving right now with a big, huge moonroof. It's decked out how I want. I got it at Griffin Ford, and it was easy. The thing I liked also was at Griffin Ford, they've got a lot of selection. They've got all the vehicles on the ground. I had my choice. And you've been looking at that Ford F-Series truck. It's been the best-selling truck in America for 47 years. They've got 60 of them at Griffin Ford in Waukesha. Outstanding selection. Also great selection of retired service loaner vehicles ready to find their permanent home. Buy a new car for a used car price. The service department is top tier. At Griffin Ford, for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires. Free tire repair and lifetime tire rotation cannot be combined with any other tire offers. Tires must be mounted, balanced, and installed at Griffin Ford. See Service Advisor for details. It's the best service. It's the best selection. Jim Griffin's team is going to take great care of you. It's Griffin Ford in Waukesha.
Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 5:07.
In Milwaukee,
Dr. King doesn't want us to leave anyone on the ground. We must pick each other up, hold hands, and run together. If we do that, we will create a more beautiful world.
That's student Leanna Mitchell from Samuel Clemens School, one of the first place writing contest winners for this year's Martin Luther King Jr. Day celebration at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. She tells Tori Lowe from 101.7 The Truth.
I want them to get better of treating the black people the way the white people be treated.
So treat them fair.
Mm-hmm.
This year's theme for the event, What Are You Doing for Others?, inspired by Dr. King's speech from August 1957.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All sports desk. The Bucks complete a 4-0 homestand with a 123-109 win over Philadelphia. After the victory, head coach Doc Rivers acknowledged despite the win, the overall team effort was a bit underwhelming.
You know, early in the year we may have lost that, though. Tonight we win the game, and that's what you have to do. You got to stack up wins when you can, and we're doing that.
Milwaukee now 24-17 heading into a couple of off days before traveling to New Orleans Wednesday. The NFL Conference Championship games are now set. In the NFC, Washington will travel to Philly Sunday after the Eagles' 28-22 win over the Rams. In the AFC, the Chiefs will host the Bills. And tonight in Atlanta, it is college football playoff national championship time. 8-seed Ohio State against 7-seed Notre Dame.
Outdoor Living Unlimited News Time, 5:08.
John Mercure here for the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. An estimated 1 million Americans live with Parkinson's disease. With 90,000 new cases each year, Parkinson's is a progressive brain disease that affects movement and can also impact mood, memory, and sleep. Dr. Ryan Brennan, a neurologist with the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, shares how their team provides personalized care. Hear it along with all of our past everyday health discussions by clicking the drop-down menu at WTMJ.com.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fellow and Sandy Max.
John is on vacation. He's on the beach, as they say, as we get ready for President Donald Trump to take the stage. We are joined with our pet of the month, Jennifer Smea, with the Humane Animal Welfare Society of Waukesha County, or HAWS, joins us live in studio. Just go to hawspets.org. Oh my goodness, what do we have, Jennifer?
Today, my compatriot is Beans the guinea pig. And Beans isn't just any guinea pig. Beans is a Peruvian long hair guinea pig.
Beautiful.
She has quite the amazing head of hair. And she will require grooming. That hair can get matted just like any long-haired pet.
You almost look like a toupee.
So it kind of, when she is
brown and blonde and dark brown. And Julia has taken Beans away from me. Beans is warm and cozy right now, too.
She
Perfect
is.
for snuggling.
Yes. And she has a dye job that some people would kill for. I mean,
know.
that hair is
The balayage?
something.
Is that what we used to call that?
Yes.
It's blonde, it's white, it's brown, and beady little eyes.
What are the benefits of having a guinea pig? I just said it's like snuggly and warm, especially now at wintertime.
Yeah. Guinea pigs are actually fun little pets that are kind of good starter pets for kids. It is a good way to start teaching them responsibility for what pets require if you're going to be a pet owner. They do not require walks or anything like that. They do need their exercise. And they do require daily care. You know, they live in a habitat, usually, like a large cage enclosure, something like that, although you do want to let them out once a day so they can get some exercise. But their enclosures need cleaning, a little poop pickup here and there. And they do need a proper diet. Usually they like leafy greens. They can have their diet augmented with some high-quality guinea pig pellets. And like I was saying before, they do need grooming, especially, these longer-haired ones. So it's a really good way to start teaching kids the things that a pet is going to need. Guinea pigs only have a lifespan of about 6-7 years old. So they're not going to be around too long, but they are around long enough to really put a lot of fun in your life. They are usually social and really fun little pets to have
Usually
around.
they make little noises like nothing.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
hear anything from Beans. So good. And Beans has a friend, Pork. Right?
Yes. Beans' sister. Beans is part of a bonded pair, Pork and Beans. Pork did not want to come with today. Pork is a short-haired, American short-haired guinea pig, so more like what you're used to seeing, the ones that just have the really sleek coat. But she was not having it. It's a little too chilly out for her, so she did not want to leave her cute little cubby and come with.
We got pageant queen Beans with the long hair.
Exactly. I feel bad. Pork, you should have come along. Look what you're missing. But I think maybe she's getting used to being overshadowed by that dew, so...
I don't think I've ever held a guinea pig in my life.
Well, here you go.
Aw.
And Beans is so sweet. Not even moving.
Very mellow.
Has such I feel so bad because my hands are so cold, but such a warm.
Well, that's why
warm,
when you
big
took
little
her out of my arms, I'm like, oh, I feel like I could tell her warmth. It was like, aw.
So cute.
Yeah.
What other animals do you have?
Just about everything right now. We have lots of dogs, lots of cats. We have half a dozen birds, half a dozen bunnies. We have a hamster. We have quite the menagerie right now. So if you're looking for something other than a cat or dog, we've got quite a few choices there too, but we always have cats and dogs available.
Well, Jennifer, you were mentioning about, Pork thought it was a little too chilly to come out. What good tips do you have for keeping our buddies safe? If they've been out, like, for example, you've got a lot of conscientious pet owners, but what if your little fuzzy buddy's been out a little too long? How do you safely warm up some pets who have been outside too long and you want to warm their paws or extremities?
You don't want to go with hot water. You always want to go with lukewarm to warm water and slowly warm up an extremity. Yes, any pet can get, even ones with great coats, Siberian Huskies, Alaska Malamutes are still susceptible to getting things like frostbite on their ears, on their paw pads, that kind of thing. So when you're warming up their paws when they come in, use just lukewarm water to start. And towels, keep them wrapped in towels. Same with the coat, that type of thing. Keep them warm, but don't go hot. Don't ever go hot because then they can burn. And obviously, you're going to get the exact extreme of the frostbite if you have the problem. Another thing to caution everyone is even if your pet is just out for a short time with you, always check their paw pads when they come in because any of the kinds of things that we use for snow melt on our sidewalks and streets can irritate paw pads if it gets stuck in there. So give their paws a nice little wipe off, a nice little warm water wash when they come in. And because it is chilly, if they're going to be outside a bit, make sure they have plenty of food. They're going to be using up a few more calories to stay warm. So while we don't advise that you're leaving them out very long at all, if you bump up their food a little bit, and we're not talking, double their food or anything like that, but a little bit of bumped up food so they can keep going and stay warm is not a problem.
Much to the disappointment of all the dogs listening.
Right,
I think I heard Jennifer Hawes say double my diet.
On a coat, if you're wearing a coat, probably not a bad idea for especially your short-haired dog to have a coat on. And if your dog is willing to wear booties, try the booties. Not every dog is going to put up with that. And it can be real hilarious trying to get them used to it. But if they don't want to put up with that, at least, limit the time outside and check those paws when they come in.
Oh, great advice. So Beans is with me, hasn't moved an inch. So sweet. So if you want to go to hawspets.org, HAWSpets.org. You can take a look at beans and its little sister, pork, and pork and beans, and you can adopt them. We've had a great track record, Sandy. We've gotten all of our pets adopted, so it's great. Jennifer Smea with the Humane Animal Welfare Society of Waukesha County. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's 5:16 on WTMJ.
The Upswing is your place for commerce and community.
We are joined on the phone by former Milwaukee Brewers Vice President Laurel Prabe.
Hosted by Jeff Sherman.
Bud made known to Bob that in no uncertain terms that he wasn't going anywhere. He called George and he said, you don't want me to tell you what I said to George that day.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You want to know the price of a new roof on your home today? Well, it's easy. Just go to TriCountyContractingWI.com, click on the Instant Roof Quote button, put in your address and email, click the Show My Roof Price, and there you go. Zero wait time. There's your quote. You shop online for everything else. Who says you can't shop online for a new roof? Tri-County Contracting at WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Some musical overtures have become more famous than the operas and ballets they introduced. This week on the Lutheran Hour, Dr. Leo Sanchez says John the Baptist is like an overture to Jesus, but John doesn't claim the spotlight for himself. Dr. Sanchez tells how John became the living voice sent by God to prepare the world for Jesus' lordship and salvation. This week on the Lutheran Hour.
Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Traffic and then weather. Let's get to our Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb, how are the roads?
Hey, Julia, we're looking good. It's been a good ride all day long, considering volume is super light. Everybody's a lot of people are taking off today. So for the most part, we're looking pretty good. I am starting to see a little bit of a backup, 41 southbound right past Capitol Drive. Very typical stuff, nothing too major, but no other incidents really up on the board. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Cold weather advisory in effect throughout southeast Wisconsin until noon tomorrow tonight. So cold, dangerously cold temperatures. 10 below zero at the lake. Actual temperatures 15 degrees below zero inland. Wind chill make it feel like it's 35 degrees below zero. The same tomorrow with the wind chills. Sunny, won't be much help. The actual high will be just 3 degrees. Scattered snow Wednesday with a high of 23. Flurries Thursday with a high of 26. And sunny Friday with a high of 28 degrees. He is the chief political reporter for TMJ4 News and national political correspondent for Scripps News, Charles Benson, who joins us on the Citing Unlimited talk and text line live from Washington, D.C. Charles, a really powerful moment right now where we saw some of the families of the Israeli hostages shaking the hand of the president.
Yeah, watching that as well. That's over at the Capital One Arena. This is the event that was set up because of the cold weather. They moved the parade indoors. This normally would have all been part of the outdoor parade from the Capitol Hill down to the White House. I also noticed that President Trump is now speaking. This is his third speech of the day. He gave his first speech, about a 30-minute speech, in the Capitol Rotunda. That was a much smaller group, about 800 people attending the swearing-in ceremony. And at times it sounded very much like a speech like the State of the Union, talking about policy issues, where he wants to go over the next 4 years. He declared January 20th, 2025 as Liberation Day. He's talked about this as being the new golden era of America for the country in terms of where he sees this country going over the next 4 years. Look, if you have been to any of his rallies, if you have listened to any of the speeches that he's done, they sounded, what he said today sounded very similar to all of those speeches, talking about immigration, talking about border security, talking about drill, baby, drill, around oil production, around, knocking down inflation. These were all the themes that we heard throughout 2024. Now, he's taken a number of steps today around the executive orders to talk about where he wants to get the ball rolling on day one. And the biggest most significant one has to do around border security and immigration and deportations. And so he's starting to move in that direction on things that he promised he would do if elected.
It looks like he was just talking about the January 6th people that were just indicted, but I missed.
Well, that's interesting because we're waiting to see today. He had mentioned on day one that he would pardon the people involved in January 6th. There were around 1,600 people that faced anywhere from misdemeanors up to felony crime, and he had talked about issuing pardons for all of those folks. So we haven't seen that yet. I'm not able to listen in as well. But that was part of an expectation for day one. By the way, Joe Biden, now the former president, making news on that front as well for the preemptive pardons that he signed today, not only with other members of his family, but people from the January 6th committee, people like Liz Cheney. So a lot of news today, not only with the outgoing president, but also the incoming president, with Donald Trump now being the 47th president. But I could tell you that, this is this unique moment in history. We didn't see it 4 years ago because Donald Trump left D.C. before the inauguration day. But, today we saw that goodbye from Joe Biden leaving the Capitol and going back home, and that moment, that transition of power that has happened 60 times in our nation's history, that other countries around the world envy, that we have, it goes from one person to the next, one party to the next, and it happens in a peaceful fashion. And so a lot of symbolic moments here in the nation's capital, but also a lot of ideas of what the second term for Donald Trump will look like.
Charles, you are there in Washington, D.C. for this historic day. What's been something that's surprised you so far?
Well, so, because things got moved indoors, I was not able to be at the inauguration, the swearing in, and sort of all the outdoor activities. My closest that I've been able to get to capture the mood, to capture the emotion, was last night. There was a pre-inauguration rally where, at that time, President-elect Trump also stopped by, gave another speech, and there you could just see a lot of those loyal supporters, people from all over the country who had come in and who wanted to be a part of this. Keep in mind, they issued about 200 tickets. You can get a ticket from your member in Congress. They had free tickets available, but they had to shift all of that in because they felt it was just going to be too cold outside. So they moved a lot of events to the Capital One sports arena there, holds about 20,000, but not the 200,000 that had hoped to come here and see that. The other big thing that's happening now and through the night will be all the big dances, the big balls, the big, get-togethers to celebrate this moment for the new president.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the executive orders that he's going to be signing in front of the crowd. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
Well, it is interesting because they say there's a small desk there that has the presidential seal on it, that he's expected to do that. I do remember a time when President Obama was in Waukesha covering an event there around manufacturing and training programs. And I remember they had a small desk for him there to sign some new, I don't know if they were executive orders, but endorsing or moving with a new program. So, yes, this is made for TV events here, and Donald Trump knows better than anybody how to sort of handle those moments. But it's clearly, you can tell from the crowd, from those who are here, are very excited about what they see in the 47th president and what could happen and what they want to happen over the next 4 years. Look, you can sign these executive orders, you can make all these campaign promises, but this is now where people are going to say, let's see what changes. What happens with gas prices? What happens with inflation? What does border security look like? And the 77 million people who voted for him think there will be change. They expect change. And so that is just some of the things that are happening. One other bit of news I've seen here is that it looks like the Senate also working today, and I think I've seen some news where Marco Rubio, the senator from Florida, has now been confirmed as Secretary of State. So some of his cabinet positions are, making their way. Pete Hegseth, who was going to head up defense, got a committee vote today, still has to go before the full Senate. And then, of course, Sean Duffy, who's the former Wisconsin congressman, has been named as Transportation Secretary, likely to get confirmation. So Trump is still trying to get his team in place, get his cabinet in place. So a lot of work. He is expected, this has been the reporting on this, 100 executive orders the first week. To give you some context around that, in his first term, he signed 220.
Wow. Charles Benson is the chief political reporter for TMJ4 News and national political correspondent for Scripps News. Charles, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
527 on WTMJ.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, protection and income are the keys to success. Simply put, if you're nearing or in retirement, you can't afford a stock market crash. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game film was a key to success. Now I'm a best-selling author and star in a new groundbreaking documentary film called The Retirement Deception. It unveils how the Wall Street machine has been deceiving us for decades and proves you don't need to risk your nest egg in the market to have the retirement you deserve. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. I want you to watch this film for free. Call today for your free copy of The Retirement Deception. I think you would agree 30 to 40 years of saving for retirement is at least worth a phone call to watch this film and see how you can improve your retirement. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free copy of The Retirement Deception. Call 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Explore outdoor living this Saturday from Eric Brown, the president of Outdoor Living Unlimited. He knows his stuff. They expand your living space with decks, patios, fire pits, even outdoor kitchens, and can show you a virtual reality of it all for starters. Outdoor Living Unlimited did a great job at the Matzik household. We love it. So listen and call Eric this Saturday on WTMJ's Fix It Show and check out OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Special Milwaukee Auto Show Advance Discount Ticket Offer has been extended to January 22nd. Turns out a lot of people want to come to the auto show. Get your auto show tickets now at a big discount. Buy a single ticket, or how about a pair of tickets for date night? Or you can buy a family 4-pack and take everybody. They can see all the latest vehicles, including cars, trucks, SUVs, luxury cars, and much more. For advanced discount tickets, go to AutoShowMilwaukee.com. That's AutoShowMilwaukee.com.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market, how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. Sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining me today, Jeff Salazinski. He's Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, the market is still challenging for buyers today. We've talked before, businesses tend to renew insurance policies either Q4 or January 1st. Tell us a little more about what those challenges entail today.
Sure, Vince. Thanks. It's great to be here again. A few factors are defining this market for commercial insurance buyers right now. Some rates are up, like auto insurance, umbrella insurance, and property coverage. Some rates are headed down, like workers' compensation and cybercrime coverage. And insurance companies continue to be very disciplined in their approach to underwriting.
So, Jeff, what else is going on?
Another important factor is guidance and communication about how to navigate all of these market conditions. We talk to many businesses that still have not heard word one from their agent or broker. They're concerned about making an uninformed decision. Buyers know that clock is ticking. Or, if they have been contacted, they still feel uninformed about what's happening in the market today or have been just provided a renewal premium amount, and that's it.
So what's the message then, Jeff? Say you have an upcoming renewal in December or January.
There's still time to work with R&R, Vince. Our process looks like this. We inform you of where the opportunities are in today's market. We work with you to prepare your file to best position your company for selection and pricing by an underwriter. And R&R can get multiple companies competing for your account.
So why else should a business work with R&R Insurance?
Vince, business owners shouldn't settle for poor service. It'll cost you nothing to sit down and talk to R&R Insurance. If you're looking for a better insurance buying experience, we'd love to sit down and speak with you. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
I'm Brett Matchke, and you're due for service.
Richlands.
Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
I'm Julia Fellow, your top story this half hour. Very soon, President Donald Trump will sign executive orders.
I'm Sandy Max, in for John Mercure. A man dies in the frigid cold.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Everything seems to be rolling along pretty well right now. We're at full freeway speeds. Just a few broken down vehicles here and there. You might expect that with the temperatures the way they are. So if you're going to be going out today, just make sure you have your safety equipment in the car and ready to go in case you get stuck out there. But overall, we're actually looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Cold weather advisory in effect throughout southeast Wisconsin until noon tomorrow. Tonight, very cold. The low will be 10 below zero at the lake, 15 degrees below zero inland. The wind chill make it feel like it's 35 degrees below zero. Sunny tomorrow, but that won't help much. The high will be just 3 degrees, with the wind chills making it feel like it's 35 degrees below zero. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, new details about an 80-year-old man who died after being found on the sidewalk in the bitter cold. Surveillance video shows John Siebold of Milwaukee falling down on the corner of 13th and Orchard Avenue just before 2:30 a.m. Sunday. He appears to get back up, grab a nearby tree before falling again. He was found 4 hours later unresponsive on the sidewalk and died. The medical examiner has ruled his death an accident.
At his second inauguration, President Donald J. Trump took the oath of office earlier this afternoon and wasted little time in getting to work with executive actions. He also took time to celebrate the inauguration with supporters. CBS's Natalie Brand is in Washington, D.C.
While the move indoors because of the extreme cold brought changes to the day, a raucous campaign atmosphere filled the arena celebrating President Trump's return.
The president is expected to sign more executive actions on stage at the parade at Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C., and at the White House before attending several balls this evening.
And worldwide reaction to President Trump's return to the White House. CBS' Adrienne Bard reporting from Mexico City.
Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum didn't react immediately to President Trump's inaugural speech. She's expected to do that tomorrow. But prior, she praised the progress that has been made with the U.S. Border Patrol app called CBP-1. In her words, it was helping to alleviate tensions along both borders. That app, though, was immediately canceled.
Sheinbaum did congratulate Trump on X, saying as neighbors and trade partners, dialogue, respect, and cooperation will always be a symbol of our relationship.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk in Milwaukee.
Jackson behind the back pass to Giannis going the other way, who stuffs it down on some
Terrific playmaking from the second-year man out of UConn.
Dave Kane with the call here on WTMJ. Giannis would finish with 34 points, including that slam, as the Bucks easily handle the Sixers 123-109. Milwaukee has today and tomorrow off ahead of a road trip to New Orleans on Wednesday. College football will crown a new national champion tonight as Ohio State faces Notre Dame in Atlanta. On the hardwood, the Wisconsin women back in action tonight against Nebraska, looking for their first win since December 20th. Men off tonight before visiting UCLA tomorrow. Badger Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited, Siding, and a whole lot more.
Outdoor Living Unlimited News Time, 5:36.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. At BBC, we sell all the top brands of lights and ceiling fans, such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Schoenbeck Crystal, and hundreds more. We get every brand, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. In our award-winning showroom, you'll also find factory closeouts with lights and fans priced well below their original cost. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's, near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
She is WTMJ, TMJ4. WTMJ TV, right? Meteorologist Kristen Kershane and a great friend. Hey, Kristen.
Hello, how are you? Are you staying warm?
Oh my goodness, I only had to walk literally, and I was in an enclosed parking garage, like 20 steps, and it was horrifying.
Oh yeah, I've got the snow boots on because I didn't want my feet to be cold.
Me too.
Yeah, good. That's a good idea. All the layers, the warm boots, cover all of your exposed skin. When you're headed out tonight, you've got to do that too, and early tomorrow morning. I mean, we're talking extremely cold temperatures and extremely cold wind chills
I
here.
think this is like dangerous, right?
Yeah, exactly. To the point where it is dangerous. Once we have those wind chills that drop into the 30s below zero, your frostbite time is like 10 minutes. So, I mean, you really have to do a good job bundling up and limit the amount of time that you're spending outside.
Are you paying attention to what's going on in Washington, D.C., where everything's indoors? What's the temperature like over there?
Okay, I'm really glad that you just asked me that, because I was, no kidding, just looking it up. It's 22 in DC right now.
I wish it was
is
22.
breezy.
Okay,
I know, right?
Okay.
Yeah, 22 never sounded so good. It's 22 in DC, and the wind chill is 10. So it is very cold. It would be really uncomfortable for them to all be standing outside, for hours and hours on end. It's going to be 12 tonight in DC, 23 tomorrow. So it's not nearly as cold as it is here. But, once you get to talking about the wind chill, it's just really uncomfortable. Here, it's more than uncomfortable. It's flat out dangerous.
And it's even colder tonight and tomorrow than it was yesterday.
Yes. Okay, so last night in Milwaukee, we dropped to 4 degrees below zero, and our wind chill was 20 degrees below zero. So tonight, our temperature in Milwaukee looks like it's going to drop to 10 degrees below zero, with wind chill more like 30 degrees below zero. So the coldest time frame of this cold snap will be overnight tonight into early Tuesday morning. And then it'll start to get a little bit better.
Wow. Can you take us through the 5-day forecast then?
Yeah, so just to update you, the extreme cold warning, there's been some changes from the National Weather Service here. So it's actually now going to be an extreme cold warning area-wide overnight and into through noon tomorrow. So previously it was the advisory, and that advisory is still in effect, but overnight the warning will be in effect. So that criteria is wind chills of at least 30 degrees below zero. Okay, so extreme cold warning in effect overnight through noon. on Tuesday. Again, 10 degrees below zero is the actual air temperature overnight. 2 is the high on Tuesday. During the day, Tuesday, it is going to be mostly sunny, breezy, wind chills during the afternoon, probably around 15 degrees below zero. We're around zero overnight, Tuesday night into early Wednesday. But by Wednesday afternoon, finally, the wind chills will be back above zero. High temperatures will be in the 20s. We'll keep it in the 20s Thursday, Friday. And by Saturday, we're going to be back to around 32 degrees. And that will feel like a heat
I'm going to get my bikini out for that.
Right? Yeah.
Seriously.
It'll be amazing.
Amazing. 541 on WTMJ. Kristen Kershane, thank you so much.
Talk to you guys later.
All right. She's going to be on at 6 o'clock on TMJ4. 541 on WTMJ. Coming up next, we're going to be talking to ABC News' Sherry Preston from the inauguration.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 2. Get the most up-to-date financial advice and the freshest thinking on investments, tax strategies, estate planning, and more. You'll learn how our team-based approach at Creative Planning helps ensure all aspects of your wealth are working harder together. Don't settle for anything less than a customized and comprehensive financial plan and portfolio. Give your wealth a second look by going to creativeplanning.com/radio.
I'm Dr. Jasmine Zapata, Chief Medical Officer for Community Health at the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. Every year in the U.S., about 21,000 lung cancer deaths are caused by radon, an odorless, tasteless, and colorless gas. 1 in 10 Wisconsin homes has high levels of radon. Does yours? Call 1-888-LOW-RADON or visit lowradon.org to learn more. Test, fix, save a life.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
With the help of Less's Glass, you can have the shower you've always wanted. Heavy glass shower enclosures from Less's Glass are installed by the best in the business. And when you have a showroom to visit with over a dozen glass shower enclosures on display, there's no guessing games. See the ultimate in frameless shower design with doors mounted on smooth as silk, stainless steel barn-style rollers. This design combines the beauty and elegance of heavy glass with a minimalist look to create an ideal shower enclosure for tight spaces. Premium shower doors and custom-designed all-glass enclosures. When you work with Less's Glass, you're working with a company that really can do it all. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
You love her twice as much today as the day you married her, right?
Welcome to Kessler's.
Traffic and then weather. Let's get you to safely with our Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb, how are the roads? Cold out there.
It is cold out there, and so that means you want to make sure that you're ready to go no matter where you're traveling today. Just make sure you have safety equipment, you know, blankets and all that stuff to try and make sure that you're okay if you break down. We have right now 6 broken down vehicles out there. They're all out of traffic, so it's not affecting your ride, but it just gives you an idea of what we're dealing with here with these temperatures. So you just be extra careful. Right now, travel times are looking great. We are clear across the board, so we're still in good shape. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
President Donald Trump is headed to the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. right now to address his supporters On the Citing Unlimited talk and text line, we have ABC's Sherry Preston, who joins us. Sherry, what were your big takeaways so far of the day?
I think the biggest takeaways so far of the day were just the juxtaposition of now President Donald Trump delivering that speech where he had just met so cordially with Joe Biden minutes before, and just railing on everything that the Biden administration has done. And, you know, because they were inside, because of the weather, they're right next to each other. And it was just like, you know, everything in that speech, it sounded almost like a Trump rally to me, all the things, except he said, we're going to actually do it. We're going to do something about immigration. We're going to do something about the border. We're going to do something about fentanyl deaths. You know, all of these things that he's been talking about for a long time, saying how, you know, the United States had been falling apart. He's saying it right there with Joe Biden. And I also think it was also, you know, when I think of you think of the Capitol Rotunda and where we were 4 years ago with the Capitol Rotunda on January 6th, of course, and all those people marauding through there. And now you had this peaceful transfer of power back to Donald Trump. I mean, in what is and cannot be argued, an amazing political comeback. I mean, we've never really seen anything like this, and it's been stunning to watch. And I think we're in for a really fascinating 4 years.
There's a quick look at former President Biden now former president, getting on the plane, probably headed to his home in Delaware with the former First Lady Jill Biden. You know, Sherry, I wanted to play for you the second question reporters were able to sneak in today, where the last-minute pardons President Biden gave to some of his family members. Right. Here is President Trump saying this, Sherry.
Mr. President, do you have any reaction to the pardons that President Biden did at the last minute?
Well, I'm not going to discuss it now. I think it was unfortunate that he did that. We won't discuss it now. There's plenty of time to discuss it.
So he's saying that it is unfortunate. It looks like he gave pardons to his siblings and their spouses. Do you know why?
Well, again, the other pardons that he delivered to Dr. Anthony Fauci and to General Mark Milley, who's a former Joint Chiefs of Staff chairman, who actually called Donald Trump a fascist at one point before the election, typed a big op-ed on that and had a lot of people sign off on it. As far as his family members go, and again, all these people said, I haven't committed a crime. However, I don't want to be a part of this retribution. So it's like clearly, and these conversations have been going on since the day after the election. Like who, if there's going to be pardons, who is going to get them? And a lot of the names that came up were those members of the January 6th committee, because they have said, you know, we can go after them. There'll still be investigations into that. There will be. They'll be on Capitol Hill. But there won't be, you know, there won't be, nothing will be able to come with them in terms of charges or anything like that. And what Dr. Fauci had said was, you know, this takes up a significant amount of my days, my family's days, our time, our security. And I think that President Biden was trying to do that with his family members as well, kind of say, you know, I'm going to do it just in case. And that was also really interesting to watch Joe Biden when he got on what was no longer Marine One, because he's no longer the president. But, you know, you got to think about how long he has worked and made Washington his work home. I mean, he was in the Senate for years. He's been in Washington for more than 50 years. You know, it was 8 years in the Obama administration, 4 years of his own. And he's always said he thought he could win the election. He thought he could. A lot of his advisors said that's not what they were seeing with the poll numbers at the time. But that's another thing that's been fascinating about this election is the quickness with which it happened, and we got a new candidate. I mean, it's been amazing, and I think we're going to see a lot of changes over the next couple of years.
We're talking with Sherry Preston of ABC News. Sherry, this is Sandy, and as to your point, Donald Trump certainly said in his inaugural address that the golden age of America begins right now. And I, too, noticed the juxtaposition of being back in the rotunda just 4 years later and the stark difference of people running through there and howling and trying to topple those statues. And now this elegant, ceremonious event today. Another surreal thing is after the RNC, where we had this influx of all these folks from the Republican Party and the cast of characters and the efforts to get a unifying message out today. who isn't there? I've seen a lot of people that I was kind of surprised that were opponents, but I haven't seen Ron DeSantis or Nikki Haley. Are they there? And I just haven't seen them. Or are there any other people who seem to be obviously missing?
That's a great point. I mean, besides for Michelle Obama, which was the elephant in the room that everybody's talked about for the past 2 weeks, that she wasn't going to be there. But as far as those who didn't, I think the Republicans want to keep that amongst themselves, because what they're seeing right now is they're saying, okay, we're actually going to be behind this person. No matter what we said about him before, no matter what Mitch McConnell said or anybody else said before, we are going to get behind this person because this is the person who has been able to unify this party, whether or not you like it or not. This is the direction and this is the Republican Party from now on. So if you're not on board, you better be hitching your wagon to something else, because this is, the person that we are behind very strongly. And a really other interesting thing in that room was what we said they were told us we were going to see, which was all those tech moguls that were front and center. Jeff Bezos and
Mark Zuckerberg,
Tim Zuckerberg,
Cook.
and Elon Musk, of course. Tim Cook, yes, was there from Apple. I mean, they're all there. They all know that the future for the next 4 years is a lot is riding on this, a lot of riding on this, especially in the ages of as AI is developed. I mean, their livelihoods depend on staying close with this administration. So, I think the theme that Donald Trump tried to get across was, unlike 4 years ago, and I guess 8 years ago, sorry, which was the American Carnage speech that everybody remembers, and I think we were all kind of there with our jaws open going, wow, he really thinks that this country is in bad shape. This time around was more like, okay, prosperity and strength and pride. Those were the three things that he said he's going to focus on and to see what happens and what comes. But he didn't talk about, tax cuts for the wealthy. He didn't, he talked about getting rid of, when you look at the new government cabinet that's going to be run by Elon Musk, efficiency in government, that there's a lot of things in there that he can't, you can't just like cross a line out and say, sorry, we're going to cut Medicare by this much or Social Security. The big ticket item things that cost a whole lot of money, that's going to be really hard to cut down, and those are what's expensive. So, I mean, every time you think, it's so funny in politics in this country, every time you think, okay, I'm going to take a breath, then somebody goes, what? Nope, not yet. Come on, time to come back. We got another party for you coming along.
ABC's Sherry Preston. Sherry, thank you so much.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Here's your business headlines.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Associated Bank remains focused on